putting a message in your backstage chat that I was backstage. Yeah,
We're
what's
live.
up, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we're
live
live.
now.
We're live right now. Yeah, so Canelo is won the lawsuit with Dazn. Oscar, so it's official now because when me and Dan was talking about it, it wasn't too official, but it's official now that he's no longer with Golden Boy Promotions, and he's gave De La Hoya a left hook. You can see in this picture right now.
That's cold, bro. That's fucked up.
Yeah, bro. No, bro.
Oh man, that's fucked up. But it is
I
what it
mean,
is, man. I
yeah,
mean,
man.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
I'm. No, I was going to say though. Man, go ahead, go ahead. I don't want to get ahead of you, but go ahead, go ahead. Say what you want to
No,
say.
what? No, I was just gonna say, like, and the thing is, yeah, like, is it good news? It's changed. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of guys, especially with Manny Pacquiao and some other guys, they go to another promoter. You can kind of look after them, and that Canelo look like he's only, to me, he's like about 3 more fights in his thing. He's just trying to maybe not up the rest of his key. He just wanted to get paid, make sure he get his money. And I think for him, when he got under the zone contract, right, he probably
Yeah,
thought it was the best thing for himself. But then he looked at these opponents and said, yo, these opponents are trash. And Oscar's like, it doesn't matter. They're giving us free money. It's okay. You know what I mean? But Canelo himself is a fighter. And for his fans, and nothing as well, his fan base is like, yo, Canelo, man, we're supposed to do this zone. They don't do the zone where we live. And he's like,
yeah,
yo, okay.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that whole thing was probably bothering him as well. And then he's like, Oscar De La Hoya, he wants to be with Oscar. He looks up to Oscar ever since he was a little boy. But at the same time, he's making money, but his fan base is not happy. And his fan base are not happy that no longer is he doing like the, Cinco de Mayo cars and all them things there. We're not on HBO, the mainstream guys are not getting to see me on this DAZN thing. So it's not been since he left HBO, it's not been a smooth year. I'm making money. But him himself was like, no, I want the fights, man. I miss the fights that, people give me Triple G and all these fights. So I think for Canelo, I think, this is a good clean slate for him. But now this is where the next half of his career is going to decide, is he going to be great? Now, they're
Yeah,
talking about him versus, what's the guy name, super middle,
King
Caleb.
Klein.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
I'm telling everyone, yeah, on a 50-50 fight where there's no Canelo weight, you ain't gonna have that no more with Oscar De La Hoya. There's no stipulations, you know what I mean? All that's out there. I think if he fights Caleb Plant, that style of fight, I think Caleb Plant beats him. Now, everyone might disagree with me, but I'm just like that because I see he's got a knee strap on his leg. He needs you to be in front of him to be successful. And at this stage of his career, Canelo needs to be picking his opponents well. Go ahead, Dan, burn on it. What's up, people in the chat? Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good point because he's had a long career. He's with Pro since he was 15 years old because in Mexico they do allow you to fight at the age of 15 as a pro. So he's had a very long career. I mean, he's still young at 30 years old or going to be 30, but he's had over 50 fights. So I mean, yeah, over 50 fights, and that's a very long career. And he's took a lot of damage in that process as well. So I think he probably I'm not saying he's probably leaning towards retirement, but he's probably at the age that at the point of his career say, you know what, yeah, I miss those type of fights as you mentioned, but at the same time, I'm gonna probably wind this down. So I want to go out on go out on top in a way, with get those bigger fights as people wanted me to see, be involved in. So um, now the question is that now that he's gone, it is official now. Not only that he is a free agent, that he's officially parted ways with Golden Boy. So um, what happens now? So the zone pretty much is their subscriber base is going to be affected by this. We know that. That's just going. Yeah, people are just going to start canceling at this point. So they're going to take a major hit in that area. So what they're going to do is that if they're going to maintain their subscriber base in the U.S., they're going to have to find someone who can make up for that. I know that's what Golden Boy is now trying to now going to rely on Ryan Garcia or maybe Virgil Ortiz to help make up that number. But we'll see how successful they could be in that area. So other than that, I'm not sure Ryan Garcia is going to be there that long because he's pissed off at Golden Boy at this point about his pay and everything else. So and his matchmaking. So I don't, it's the future is bleak for the zone. I mean, well, the zone's going to be all right. They'll be fine. But as far as Golden Boy, because you have to understand, Golden Boy relied on Canelo for their financial success.
Yeah.
That's what their financial success was based off his back. Now that he's gone, who are they going to rely on now? I mean, Ryan Garcia, yeah, but he's still a prospect. They, other than that, and that's in this situation after the Luke Campbell fight. If he does beat Luke Campbell, then they have no choice but to put Ryan Garcia in those big fights. They got no choice. Now, Virgil Ortiz, maybe they don't have to rush him at this moment, but they do at some point they're going to have to get involved in title eliminators and get him involved in those big welterweights. So Golden Boy's in probably more likely could be in a much worse position than the Zone are, if you think about it. So, because as of right now, they are working out to renegotiate their contract between the both parties, which is the Zone and Golden Boy. We'll see how that turns out.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, man. I think Golden Boy as a promotional outfit, as one of the top outfits. Do you remember when Golden Boy, they was the premier boxing promotion? Mayweather was fighting on their promotion. They was in contrast with Al Heyman. They had the Richard Schaefer. Bro, like the fights were getting made. It was some good fights for the fight fans. Everything was popping. And then Oscar, all Oscar could do, with his coke, Mayweather was disrespecting him. And he thought, okay, I'm gonna take over my company, right? And so ever since he took over his company, as his company, his whole thing is, we're gonna focus on Canelo. He's gonna be our number one guy, right? And he done a good job in terms of getting the guy the most money. He got a good deal, great deal with the Zone. Because obviously the Corona thing has messed it up. But at the same time, Oscar and your habit is okay. Like, you've got a great legacy, Oscar, right? Legacy is untouched in boxing. It's really good, right? Now with Canelo, I think with the Zone thing, I think he was depriving fans of that because most of his fan base couldn't watch Canelo and they had to buy the Zone. And that's where this thing happened. Canelo's like, nah, bro, I don't like this thing. I like my fans easily access to watch me. You know what I mean? They don't have to buy no app to watch me and stuff like that. And that's where it comes down to. Oscar's like, well, I'm making, most money. Who cares who watches you? Like, the fan base, if the buy goes, my fan base can't afford to watch me. They can watch me on Showtime, where they pay once. It's easy access. Showtime's all over America, the UK, everything like that. Or ESPN, they can most likely get ESPN, but the Zone is like, why am I buying the Zone thing? You're trying to get my fan base, millions of fan base in Mexico, to buy this app and support these people. I don't even know. Canelo's like, he wasn't really on it, but because he loves Oscar, respects Oscar, that's fine. But the deal, and even with, listen to this is the number thing, right? Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua, in this respect, where they were smart, Eddie Hearn had Anthony Joshua only signed one fight deal. So every time Anthony Joshua fought, he got like 50 or 60 mil. Like straight away. Like one fight, 60 mil. Beautiful. Oscar should have did the same thing. They should have just like, no, we don't want a long, extensive contract. We're going to just do fight by fight. Every time we fight, we get 30 mil.
Well, you know what? That'd be a good point. But at the same time, though, Oscar has a promotional company that needed a network home. Eddie Hearn is a little different because he already has a network home in the UK, so he's fine. Oscar doesn't have that type of resource. He only operates in one territory, which is the United States. So with Oscar, he was for him to for his other fighters to get paid, he had to get into some type of agreement with the Zone. And we already know what that agreement was. Is that they did a backdoor deal behind Canelo Alvarez back, and he guaranteed the Zone that, okay, if we provide you the funding for the dates that you want on your promotion for your other fighters, you have to guarantee us the Canelo Golovkin third fight. And Oscar said, yeah, we'll do that. But he did not consult with Canelo Alvarez about that situation. That's what Canelo was pissed about that. You didn't tell me about that. You know what I mean? So why did you guarantee him a fight that I didn't sign off on? So now that speaking of Gennady Golovkin, now that Canelo's gone, what happens to Gennady Golovkin now? So what happens to him? So the only reason for him,
it depends how long his contract. The thing is, all these guys, they have like massive contracts, and like Real and Tully, they ain't fighting the killing fight. Like the Zone I don't think the Zone even cared about putting on great fights for the fans. They just cared about buying up all the fighters, so everyone had to come through them. Like
they try to monopolize the market. I mean, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, that's what they try to do, and they realize they got all these guys with these big contracts, and obviously we're just losing money. We ain't gaining no money, and these guys, to be fair, look at the guys they got. The only number one spinner they got is Anthony Joshua, who's a money spinner, and Canelo, the two top money spinners. But Anthony Joshua is locked into a lucrative deal with Sky Sports, right? So the Zone can kind of share that broadcast. Oscar De La Hoya hasn't got a platform, so his whole thing is on the Zone. Now, without Canelo Alvarez, How long does that contract? How long does that contract go without no marquee stars, bro? He's gonna have
Well,
to.
that
He's gonna have to do what I think he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to put all of his energy into Ryan Garcia.
yeah, that's my whole point. That's my whole point. That's the whole reason. That's probably the reason more. Well, that is the reason why they're entering a renegotiation process right now with the zone. They see the writing
Yeah.
on the wall. Hey, hold on for a second, man. Hold on.
All right, cool. No worries. Yeah, I'm sharing this around. If you guys in the backstage, just wait there for a minute. I'm just sharing it around. I'm sure Dan gonna come back in a sec here, but hey, this is interesting times here right now for Oscar De La Hoya. But I think at this point, like when Oscar De La Hoya started off, he said we're gonna take over. We're gonna be better than Bob Arum. We're gonna be better than we're gonna be better than Don King. And I'll be honest with you, you started off very well, but it's where you finish. I think your cocaine habit and your indulgence in fishnets and some of this thing might have messed it up. And even you know the funny thing about even if you got them kind of habits and fishnets and cocaine habit, you still have smart people around you to advise you not to get into stuff. But the thing is, I think really and truly, like getting involved in the zone and not HBO. Let's get it right. If Oscar De La Hoya was still with HBO, I think HBO still would have been around. But they was
Probably,
yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, but he thought the zone was a better offer. You went to an unproven market that no one even knows about, and no one could ever predict that there would be a bloody disaster like what we have here with this disease out here killing people and stuff like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah. So
Well, that's the thing, Tom. But now, like I said, though, I think a lot of people are going to be more upset about this whole, ordeal. How Canelo was able to succeed and get out of his contract, which I predicted this was more likely going to be the outcome. I thought they were going to settle one way or the other. That was still a strong possibility. But given the fact that they were in deliberation before the lawsuit came about, and when it ended, and Canelo decided to go proceed with it, and it was approved by the judge, the federal district court judge, I knew at that point that at some point the zone and Golden Boy may not be able to win it. They're going to have to settle one way or the other, and that settlement is that let him go, let him out of his contract, and pay whatever money's left on that contract, which they probably did. Get him out, because you don't want to spend too much money trying to fight this in court, knowing this thing could drag out for 2 years, and you end up losing. So they probably saw the legal ramifications on it and saw, yeah, you know what, our chances of us winning this is not going to be good. We might as well settle out with this guy and get him out of his contract.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you. So let's talk about destination.
Yeah.
Destination X. Where does he go, Dan? ESPN, PVC, or Sky Sports? Which one?
Well, they're talking about the Caleb Plant fight, so more likely it'll be PBC. But does that mean he'll be a PBC fighter? I don't know, but it does give him the the what you call it, the freedom, the liberty to go bounce network to network when he wants to. So, but from what it looks like, since he did talk about the Jamal Charlo fight, it looks like he'll be sticking around with PBC for a while. That's I think where he's going to go. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I tell you what, right? If I'm Canelo Alvarez, I'm gonna do what Mayweather did. Mayweather done an exclusive $100 million 5-fight deal with Showtime, and I think that's the way to go forward. I think that's the way to go forward. I think you lock yourself into a 5-fight deal, not a 10-year deal or whatever the zone's craziness deal.
That was crazy. That was like, well, actually, that was like what, 7 year deal? Was it 11 fights?
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
That was like, wow.
And they didn't really, and it's not like Oscar was putting great fights. He made sure that Canelo was fighting just adequate fights. It wasn't good for his fan base. The fan base was miserable. Like, yo, who's these UK and pure UK guys, bro? Just beating up on guys and stuff just to get paid. And I was like, first, it wouldn't have been bad, Dan, if people could reach him. The fact of the matter is they put him on the zone, and his fan base have to buy the zone and this, that, the other. That was the whole thing. So now, if you do a 5-fight deal with Showtime, who's been proven because they did it with Mayweather, right? Then, right, if you get through that, let's say a 5-fight deal against the PVC guys there, if win or lose, you still get your money, 100 mil at this time. I think that's where you go, or you do a fight by fight, which is pretty dangerous because if you win, you obviously the next fight you get 60 mil, 50 mil, and you go up. But if you lose now, the money goes down. So you're in a situation where wherever you go from this point on, you can do a fight by fight basis. ESPN at the highest bidder, whoever wants me. Like who? Let's go by thing. Who have they got over ESPN for Canelo? Dan. Yeah, okay. Dan's about to start. All right, so we go. My man Mike Thomas and everything. I ain't had Mike Thomas for a longest. The zone's worse than HBO boxing. Halloween. Like, over Oscar. What you guys said? Sticking for Oscar. Stick the fork in Oscar. He's done. Yeah, Oscar's done. Caleb Plant versus Canelo was a very interesting fight. I got Caleb Plant winning that fight, man. Big up to you guys in the chat again. Phil Walker, that guy, Chris Titan, Michael Thomas, Danaman's back. Ned Carr.
Yes.
Yeah, go
Sorry
ahead.
about that.
That's
Yeah,
right. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that was the you kind of hit the nail on the head. That was main reason why I would say not skeptical, but just questioning why would they sign arguably the biggest boxing star on the net, and that would to me was a big mistake because if you think about it, his largest fan base live in rural areas of America and rural areas of Mexico, whereas broadband is not where you cannot access broadband. So how are they going to watch his fights? You know, and
Yeah.
if of course, people will say, "Well, you're just hating. Someone's going to do fine. They're gonna take over the market. They're gonna kill HBO, not HBO. They're gonna kill Showtime, PBC. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that." I'm like, well, it'll be easier. It's easier said than done because again, Canelo's biggest fan base live in rural America. They don't have access to the zone, and neither do they have access. Pretty much, they don't really have much access to it in rural Mexico. So how? I mean, I don't see. I mean, hopefully they do succeed, but I just don't see this working. I just don't see it. Canelo's going to still get paid, yes, but his fan base is going to be left out here, and I don't know how long they're going to stand for that. You know,
Mhm.
and of course, we saw the end result of it. The whole point bringing on Canelo was to bring in a subscriber base, and the thing is, Canelo himself, yes, he's a big boxing star, but the problem is that he only fights two times a year. How do you expect people to pay for a yearly subscription when he's only fighting twice a year? And matter of fact, let alone how you expect people to pay monthly subscription. He's only paying, that only given the fact he's only fighting twice a year. So that just doesn't make any sense. So what they, like I said, what the Zone should have done is that, okay, if you want to go ahead and do a monthly subscription, that's fine. No problem with that. Every content provider does monthly subscriptions. But for certain fights like Canelo Alvarez, you have to get them to pay a premium fee. So that way you can offset the costs that you're paying for his fights, paying out his purses and also offset the production costs. So with that said, though, yeah, it was just bad, bad, this is a bad funnel strategy all around. The way they rolled this out when they picked him up, it was just bad altogether. It was set up to fail. Let's be real.
100%. Well, listen to this. All right. So, what the
Yeah.
question was before is that who have they got in ESPN? Who has Bob Arum got over there if he was to go over there first fight? Who's he got over there?
I mean, if you're talking about middleweights and super middleweights, yeah, I don't think he really
And,
has
and, and,
anybody.
and, and light heavyweight. So,
I mean,
middleweight.
light heavyweight, he could make a couple matchups. I mean, Gilberto Ramirez. I know they're talking about that fight for a while now, but Gilberto
Better be.
Ramirez, yeah, or better be Bertuviev. I mean, I don't think Canelo wanted to take that fight. Bertuviev is too big and too powerful. But I mean, Gilberto Ramirez. I mean, honestly, I don't think people want to be clamoring for that fight now because he hasn't been really active and he hasn't really been fighting the best competition. Especially he moved up in weight, so I don't think anybody's clamoring for that fight anytime soon. But him going over the top rank, I just can't see what type of matchup making they could do for him over there. I just don't see it. I don't think they don't really have that many. They don't really have that many middleweights over there either. So I don't think the top rank would be feasible for him. Definitely PBC because they have more options for him, more flexibility for him to take fights. They have a more what's the word I'm looking for? They have a bigger stable of middleweights and super middleweights. That's the truth. That's the bottom line. So they could do some better matchup making over there for him. In fact, they could drag up. I hate to say this, if Canelo decided to go back down to 160, they could drag out. They could drag up super light middleweights to fight him, like Jamel, like J Rock, like what you call it, Jared Hurd, like Arizlandi Lara, or actually he beat Lara, so I don't think we want to see that fight again. Or Earl Spence, who's talked about taking that fight. So maybe they want to bring Earl Spence up to fight Canelo, but I don't think Earl Spence is going to win that fight. But I mean, they have a lot more options to at PBC rather than Top Rank. Top Rank doesn't really have that much options as Canelo, but if he does sign with them, that's on him. But I just don't see it.
Yeah. I think whoever you go to, You know, if you wanted a long time career, Bob Aaron's proven will Bob Aaron look after him? Because remember, it's all about money. Bob
Yeah,
Aaron, you know, does pretty well with Mexican fighters. Out him, and you're not really seen. You're with the Watsons. End of the day, you just want to be with a network who invests in you, and your
yeah,
fan base can reach you, and you want to be in competitive fights that your fan base look back at you, say, "This guy was a great warrior.
right.
This guy done our crowd." So currently, he fought a light heavyweight, right? So he's
Yeah,
between heavy and middle. So I don't think he's going to go down to middle. So the Charlos and all them things there, I don't think them fights are kind of happen, even though they got Canelo in their weights. So let's look at super middleweight. What kind of fights what kind of people there? So at super middleweight, if he signs to Sky Sports for a one fight deal. Now remember a one fight deal on pay-per-view, which network which would do it. I think what they could do, in my opinion, Showtime is the best network for him, in my
yeah, I
opinion.
agree. Yeah, I
Show,
agree. I agree. In fact, he's already has a very, very good relationship with Steven Espinoza, and Steven Espinoza said, "Look,
yeah.
Canelo's always welcome back. He's always welcome. It's open. It's open. The door's open for him if he wants to come back to Showtime."
All right,
So
so this is the thing,
yeah,
right? This is the thing, right? Showtimes, right? So this is why I say Showtime. So all of his Mexican fan base, they can buy the pay-per-view, right? That
yeah,
they can sort the terrace out as well. They can sort out how much they want to charge up, maybe 60, 70, 80, $90. So first in, straight away off the bat, right? For if you do with Showtime, you go, in my opinion, the first guy you go against is Callum Smith, straight off the bat. Callum Smith,
right,
unified champion after that, right? Then, yeah, and
yeah,
then remember again, he only fights 2 times a year, Cinco de Mayo and the Mexican holidays. So we bring back the Mexican holidays because Mayweather knew that their days were the most the greatest holiday.
profitable days. Yeah,
Yes,
profitable days. Yeah,
100%, right? So you bring
yeah.
that back, and the first guy you go with Callum Smith. The second guy you go against on the Mexican holiday is
Caleb Plant
nah,
or David
you know,
Benavidez.
I
David Benavidez.
think Benavidez. I think Benavidez,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
Benavidez, because the Mexican guy, and you're giving a young Mexican guy a chance to fight. And for the Mexicans, I think that would be a great fight for him. You know, Benavidez is going to be there. The reason why I say Callum Smith and Benavidez, right? Because you got some background. See, I think you got the TV in the background there.
yeah. I got TV. Let me turn it down. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, that's okay. All right. The reason why I say them guys because they both with Eddie Hearn could do great
Uh,
job of promoting it cross Atlantic promotions. So you can have the UK fan base, the Mexican fan base, going to bring it in. Then you go bring
uh,
a Benavidez, you got the Mexican fan base, and Cinco de Mayo. That's going to be great, right? So I think if Caleb Plant now, he's not really a big draw, be a good fight for him, but we're talking about making the most money. So these are the
uh,
fights that he can win in great fights, whether win or lose now. He can have rematches and they can be in great fights. So I think in all options, you should go with thing. Now, ESPN now, if you go now, you got Billy Joe Saunders over. No, actually, Eddie Hearn's got Billy Joe Saunders as well. Billy Joe Saunders now, you look at him and you think, what's he bringing to the table? Well, nothing really in terms of like, okay, he in terms of belt, he's a WBO super middleweight champion. He talks,
right.
he's gonna run around the ring. He's gonna do this. Canelo's got bad knees. Does he really need that to be chasing that guy around the ring? Nah, not so much. But them guys at super middleweight, let's go to light heavyweight, right? So already
Yeah,
to me, it already looks good to Showtime, Sky Sports. They look like they're gonna have it. Now, the light heavyweight, it's a bit more daunting now, yeah. This is the
yeah,
fight I would choose for him, right? There's like two guys I go for. First off, I go for John Pascal. I go for
yeah,
Pascal, right?
yeah. He's more vulnerable. Yeah, he's more vulnerable. Yeah,
No,
good. Yeah,
more than that, yeah, he comes to fight, and he's
yeah,
definitely give your fan base, but your guy should be able to beat him, and it should be a good fight, a good slugfest. But Canelo should win that fight, but he's definitely gonna come to fight, right? At
right.
light heavyweight, yeah, and you still can retain your light heavyweight. So now Canelo can have two belts at two different weights, retain it. Second guy off the bat, I think you can give one of these young guys a chance. See Anthony Yard,
Yeah,
I think you go against him because the reason why I say you go against him is because you got the UK fan base coming into
right.
watching, and he might think he's got a good shot. He's the next up and coming guy. I don't think you go against Bivol or Beef. I think you go against them guys there because I'm looking at them right. Beef's got Canada,
Yeah.
Bivol's Russia. They're not really.
Well, Bivol's got Ukraine. He's Ukrainian, so
All right,
he's
yeah. But what I'm saying is that when you're looking at their fan base compared to the UK fan base, the American
Oh,
fan
actually,
base.
no, never mind. I don't think he's Ukrainian. I think he's
I know it's Russian.
Kazakh.
I know it's Russian. I could look
Oh,
him
he's
up.
Russian or Kazakh. He's Kazakh.
Yeah, it's
He's
Russian.
Eurasian. He's Eurasian. So I think
Yeah,
he's Kazakh.
yeah. It says Russian anyway, right? But what I'm
Oh,
saying,
he's Russian. Okay, yeah, he's Russian. Okay.
yeah. So what I'm looking at is that the most fan bases who bring the most money is the UK, the American fan base, and the Mexican fan base. That's what I see. The Asian fan base is exclusively done for Pacquiao. Other than
Yeah,
that, in a way, is the Japan. That's their golden boy. So we're talking about making money. We're talking about seeing all around the world in fights that you can win if you bring your game, and you should be able. You shouldn't have to run around to face Pascal or someone like Anthony Yard. So that's what I would suggest. That like heavyweight. And
yeah,
I think that should be your fight deal. I think after Anthony Yard, giving a young, because you're giving young guys chances, you're giving Pascal or old guy who you should give you a fight. But I think you stay away from Bivol. I think you stay away from Berterbeev. And they talk about John Smith Jr. I think you stay away from that guy because you should win that fight.
You know what, Joe Smith Jr. I know he's not really regarded as a top, as world. I mean, he is regarded as world level, but he's too big, man. Joe Smith Jr. is too big and he's too long, man. I don't like that fight for Canelo right now. He's hungry. I know he's got a couple losses on the record, but he's still fresh and he's hungry, man. That guy, I will wait on that fight, man, a little bit longer. To me, for Canelo, if you ever want to fight Joe Smith, I'd rather see him in there against like an Arthur Beterbiev to see how he performs. I think Joe Smith has a good chance of winning that fight, even though I don't think he's going to win it, but he has a good chance of beating Beterbiev, and I think he, match him strength by strength. But as far as technical skills, you definitely want to go with Beterbiev. But Joe Smith, Joe Smith actually has, he can take a good shot, and he does punch very hard, and he's improved better as a technical fighter. So I think, I think he should stay away from Joe Smith for a while. Canelo.
Yeah. That's why I can make my man. That guy said absolutely Hearn isn't with Joe Gallagher. I know he's not really with him, but when it comes to making money, if Canelo picks him, Eddie Hearn will do business with him. Canelo's like, okay, they want to, because Eddie Hearn is still their promoter. They've got on his nerve, but if they want to fight Callum Smith, I think that's a good fight for Finn, because really and truly, this guy is undefeated. He hasn't really proved himself. He's got the belts, your thing, and you can unify, become undisputed at super middleweight. You don't have to fight champions. To me, I think he beats Callum Smith. I don't know.
I agree with you on that one. I like Callum Smith. I think he's improved. I know people that's up for debate, but to me, he's improved as a world class fighter. But overall, you match his skill for skill. As far as pedigree is concerned, I definitely think Canelo will beat him, because that style is tailor made for Canelo Alvarez. Callum Smith, that is. Canelo Alvarez will be. Yeah.
Listen, I've got the super fight to shut everything down, right? And obviously you can see by this picture. So the fights I mentioned are credible fights, but I think the fight fans that most people would pay for, in terms of maybe people think it's a freak fight, is Oscar De La Hoya versus Canelo Alvarez. I'm telling you, bro, that would sell. Now, whether you think he's gonna win or lose is debatable. The fact of the matter is, Oscar De La Hoya is pissed off. You've left him. He ain't got no money, so he's gonna have to put himself out there. He's gonna have to pimp himself out there.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. I think this is one of the reasons why Oscar is coming out of retirement, because I think he knew that the writing was on the wall as soon as Canelo filed that lawsuit. He knew that he had no shot at keeping him and retaining his services, so that's why he wants to come out of retirement and start getting some fights in so that can save his company. And then, as you say, maybe, just maybe, he fights his pupil and his former fighter, Canelo Alvarez. I don't like Oscar chances in that fight, but it'll definitely make good money. A lot of money. I'll be honest with you. A lot of money.
It will. You know why? Because Oscar's still Oscar, and it's a higher weight for Oscar. And Canelo, they would make money. Now, the middleweight division for Canelo, for me, is to stay away from that. There's too many young, hungry guys down there. You got the Charlos, you got Demisha Andrade, you got some hard fights down there, and they don't.
Well, Andrade is fighting on the Dazn, so I mean, Andre, speaking of him, speaking of Andre, man, I mean, I don't know, man. The dude's talks too much shit, and there's no action behind him. I mean, to me, AJ, I'm just saying this. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just suggest that we don't talk about Demetrius Andre until he does something. I'm just keeping it real.
No, I'm talking about reason why he doesn't stay at the middleweight division. So this is why I said the where Canelo should focus on is the super middle and like heavyweight division. There's no one really in the middleweight division. I'm like I said again, the young guys down there, the Dimitri Andrade, the what's it, the Charlo brothers, with
Mm-hmm.
the Demetrenkos and all them guys there. Even Eubank Jr. They ain't bringing the most money in compared to the Callum Smiths he'll could bring in a lot of money because Callum's a winner and he has the
Mm-hmm.
UK back in, and us in the UK would want to see that. We put our money down to see if Callum's the real deal, if he can top this Mexican superhero. The Benavides fight, because if Benavides beats what's his name again, against Canelo Alvarez, he becomes the Mexican superhero. So you could sell that. Caleb Plant, I don't think he gets a shot in here. I just don't see it, because you look at him, it's like, yo, even if Canelo wins, you don't really get nothing out of it. But Benavides and Callum Smith, 100% in the super division. Even Billy Joe Saunders, I think they shut him out. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
they don't need him. They don't really need Billy Joe Saunders. Because what I'm trying to say, if you look at Billy Joe Saunders, my people, listen to this, right? Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant are the same type of fighters. They're movers. And at this point in your career, you don't need people running around the ring in front of you. You need someone right in front of you who can come for you, and you can. Now, Callum Smith and Benavides are long and all that, but Callum, yo, you know how Canelo likes to chop down the tree. So he gonna
Yeah.
be right. He gonna be right at home with against these guys here. They're gonna try and box and stay at distance. And Canelo could move. He's got very good movement, move in and start putting his hands on them. And I think they will be competitive fights for the fight fans. And I don't think Canelo has to come down so much weight, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah. So those are the
Yeah.
fights I can recommend. Go ahead.
Yeah. 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 No, I was just, somebody may have Dan the Man. Not there's another Dan the Man who's out in the UK. He said that. So is this the end of Golden Boy?
Oh, that's a good question.
Uh. Yeah.
That's a good question. So I think Golden Boy, it's gonna take them a while to come back in terms of pay-per-view. No, I don't think it's the end of Golden Boy. I think they still have a relationship of boxing, but in terms of being the marquee promotion, I think they're not the marquee promotion no more. They haven't. Well, Ryan Garcia as a lightweight, unless Ryan does what Oscar De La has, he beats Devin Haney, he beats Teofimo Lopez, he beats all these guys and moves up. Then they got a star, but they're still not on the same level as where Canelo Alvarez is, because Canelo Alvarez
Yeah.
got the whole country behind him, bro. And think he still lives in America. Ryan Garcia still lives in America. What I know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. It seems to me that as a part of this reneged offer with the zone, or the reneged to renegotiate with the zone, they have specified that their marquee stars are going to be Ryan Garcia and Virgil Ortiz. And you hit the nail on the head. For them to kind of become the forefront of the marquee promoter, in the United States, Golden Boy, that is, they're going to have to get those guys to fight those top level guys at their weight classes, in their weight class, and then they're going to have to move up a weight and fight bigger competition, because that's how Oscar De La Hoya made his career, fighting bigger guys when he moved up in weight. And it's fair to argue that when he started at super featherweight, he was way too big to be in that weight class, so he's kind of like weight bullying guys, as people will say. But still, though, he moved up into weights and he fought bigger men. So that's what he did. That's how he made a great career doing that. And that's how Canelo made a great career. Moved up in weights and fought bigger guys. So Ryan Garcia and Virgil Ortiz, they're going to have to get them to do the same thing to keep their companies afloat, or the Golden Boy afloat, that is.
100%, man. I mean, trying times, but good times with Canelo Alvarez. Great time for boxing fans, and great time
Yeah.
for negotiations to put Canelo as the number one sports head back on the top of the boxing landscape, and giving him fights that, because Canelo pushed to that Lara fight, and Oscar didn't want that fight. So now,
Oh yeah.
so Canelo is in complete control of his career, and I'm telling you, for his fan base, he wants great fights for his fan base that is incredible. And the fights I've highlighted are a really good fight. And if he can get Oscar, now remember, now I said a fight deal, right? So the fight
Yeah.
deal, I'll reiterate again. The first fight I said Callum Smith. No, and the second fight I said what's his name again?
David
Benavidez.
Benavides. Yeah.
The fourth fight, the third fight, I said Jean Pascal. And I said the fifth fight, I said Anthony Yard. The reason why, now they might say, why are you putting them guys in there? But bro, they come to fight. They light heavyweights. And remember, he's the light heavyweight champion. You don't have to go against Bivol and them other guys. And the fifth fight, for all the money, Oscar De La Hoya versus Canelo Alvarez. That is
Yeah.
that would top up as one of the greatest things. Now people was like, yo, what are you putting these guys in the go? Hey, listen, these guys come to fight. You don't, nigga, why are you fighting Bivol? Why are you fighting these guys? Them guys ain't doing nothing up there. You know what I'm trying to say? And he beat the number one guy. The number one guy that we know was he beat the number one guy like heavyweight was Sergio Kovalev.
I don't know about that. I don't think he was number one when he beat him. It was no, it was Arthur Beterbiev, because Beterbiev he was unified champion after that fight, because before Kovalev fought Canelo. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Now listen. So you told me who's got a better resume, Sergio Kovalev or Beterbiev?
Yeah, that was a point. That's a good point. I was going to get to that. You could also argue that Kovalev had the better resume than all the light heavyweights. So in that regard, yes, he's a champion coming in. So in that regard, you could say that was a better win compared to Canelo fighting Arthur Beterbiev. I'm just saying that's an argument you can make.
No. What I'm trying to say to you is now, and again, yeah, he's had every belt in there. Yeah, he fell off. Lost to Andre Ward, but he fought better. Andre Ward, Berthe ain't got no Andre Ward. This guy was getting rocked by Callum Johnson. So my whole
that's true. Is Kovalev's got Hopkins, he's got Pascal. Yeah. So Beterbiev don't got wins. I mean, the only wins he's got, the only best win he's got is the Vosdick win. And I mean, but Tavoris Cloud, I mean, that guy's way past it. And you got Richard Campillo. I mean, Campillo was a champion, but he wasn't he wasn't a great light heavyweight. Then you got
I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing on Sergio Kovalev. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right? He was a long reigning light heavyweight guy for the longest. Him and Adonis Stevenson, and then the guy Bivol knocked off thing, and who think he knocked off the other guy. But what I'm saying is, in terms of the guy who was considered the number one contenders for the longest, maybe. At that time, he was between 1 and 2, right? It had to be Sergio Kovalev, and he knocked him out. So far as I'm concerned, he's the number one at light heavyweight. They all have to see him, and he still is the money maker. So you still have to come see him. Now I'm saying, if you're the number one, you could unify if you want to, or you can just retain your WBC belt, right, and fight or whatever, and fight Andy Yard and these guys here who. Really and truly, you should be able to win, and it will be an exciting fight for the fight fans. And really, he doesn't really take anything from you, because the way I look at it is that these young guys you're gonna fight, if they beat you, we can build from them guys on after you. Well, they're not really young. Andy Yard is not really young, nor is David. Well, Benavidez is fairly young, but for all Mexican clashes, you could have said, okay, Ramirez, right? But for me, Ramirez. I'm like, bro, who would you rather see? Ramirez, fight fans, Ramirez or Benavidez, David Benavidez? And most people would say David Benavidez, he's more exciting, right? He's that he can't make the weight, by the way. He struggles with the weight, but most people like him. I mean, most people mess with him than Ramirez. Ramirez ain't trying to be the best. I never seen he doesn't really out, but Benavidez wants to be that guy, the face of
and I agree with that. That's why I say Ramirez, you just might as well not include him in the equation, because at one point he was, after the Arthur Abraham win, there was many talks about that fight happening. People wanted to see that fight happen at that time, but Ramirez has battled through injuries. He's had the promotional disputes with Top Rank. He's moved up in weight. He hasn't been able to make weight. I mean, not make weight, but he was able to come down in weight in time to make certain fights happen. So he's been having issues outside the ring. So I don't, right now he's at a point of his career that, what's the point? He's not doing anything at light heavyweight. His best win at light heavyweight is against Jesse Hart, who actually had come up from super middleweight. So, I mean, to be fair, they both were super middleweights. So other than that, man, Ramirez is, he's just not doing anything right now. So he's going to have to show something to me before he ever gets into, before he could be considered to be a contention for a Canelo fight. And I still favor Canelo to beat him, because, Ramirez is, he's all wrong for Canelo Alvarez. I'm not all wrong. He's just right for Canelo Alvarez, I should say.
Oh, yeah. My man Aztec 101 says Jaime Munguia. But the only thing is Jaime's too low down in the weight. He's just moving to middleweight. So I don't.
I mean, McGee. Here's the thing about that. They're planning, or they're trying to move. They're moving him to fight Gennady Golovkin. That's well evident. Now, after his performance against Toriano Johnson, that's like a iffy situation, because Toriano Johnson was brought in to make Jaime Munguia look good. Let's be real. Even though some people thought it would still be a tough fight either way, but they thought Munguia was going to handle him pretty easily. And he had a tough fight against Toriano Johnson. Yes, he was hitting him with vicious uppercuts. He was actually fighting well off the back foot. So I give Mike a little credit for that fight. He did a lot of improvements in that fight, but he didn't dominate as people expected him to do. So you know, it's still 50-50. It's still for debate whether he's ready for Gennady Golovkin. But I will say this though. If he does beat Gennady Golovkin, then maybe Munguia may be the face of Golden Boy if he beats him. He'll be the guy to go to when it comes to revenue, and be their star maker, and so forth. So that's a possibility. If you get him in there against against Golovkin, he beats him. You get him in there against maybe just maybe Billy Joe Saunders, which I think that's a wrong fight for Jaime. Or get him in there against Demetrius Andrade, which I think is a wrong fight for him too. Even though I criticize Demetrius Andrade, but I don't know. That's still hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Mexican fight fans want to see Canelo fight young champions. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Young champions. Like I'm seeing. That's what I'm saying. Callum Smith. Now the light heavyweight division, I don't think he needs to do no work up there. I just feel that them dudes, them Russian dudes or Ukraine dudes need to do something about it, but they ain't catching the public. I mean, Canelo's giving something to them. I don't think they're doing nothing for Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo doesn't have to. Yeah, he doesn't have to go to light heavyweight. He's got a lot of options at middle and super middleweight. But it goes back to the question: can he even make middleweight again? I mean, I'm sure he can. If he could probably stretch it, but it'll be hard for him to make that weight now. So, I mean, he's got a lot of options at super middleweight. A lot of options compared to light heavyweight right now. So.
Yeah, he's not gonna go back down to middleweight. So, but what I'm saying is that for the fight fans, most fans and boxing fans, he has an obligation to be the number one sport driver money to his Mexican fan base and to the fans of boxing to establish himself as the number one guy and beat the number one fighters. And I'm telling you, he don't like. Now I'm just saying the fights I'm mentioning he could fight. People are talking about Caleb Plant, but I understand this boxing game a bit better as being in the game now. And I understand at the pro level, when it comes down to it, what's the numbers saying? What's the numbers saying? And Caleb Plant ain't bringing them numbers. He's a good fighter. He's not very active. I mean, the guy he fought, he beat the later Alvarez or whoever he beat the belt of. He ain't capitalized on that.
You mean Uzcategui?
He hasn't capitalized on these sort of things. Usually, guys, when they win these world titles, they fight in like next 2 months against good level fighters. But Canelo Alvarez is consistently been fighting the best, and he got. Listen, Mayweather's retired. He's got all these names on his resume. Cotto, he's got all these names on his resume. Triple G, all these things that he is the guy that people look up to. If you beat him, you could become that guy. Now, who wants that? Who wants that smoke? Who wants that smoke right now? And that's what Canelo's saying now. Breaking away from Oscar De La Hoya, breaking away because Oscar was trying to use him to make money for himself and continue his habit of cocaine or whatever he was taking up his nose or fishnets, whatever he was doing. Canelo's like, I don't need none of that stuff. I need respect. I want my fan base, and for boxing, I'm gonna give everyone a treat. And he's gonna do it on Cinco de Mayo and the Mexican. What's the other Mexican holiday? Cinco de Mayo. And what's the other Mexican holiday? Mexican Independence Day. That's the days, right? These are the days here. What's the Aztec saying? Because Aztec a hardcore thingy fight. Was it? I don't know. I didn't mention my gear as an opponent. I was saying as a potential star I agree that he's a potential star. I like Jaime. Jaime's a potential star. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that for the fight fans, this is what we want. It's the same for Anthony Joshua. See, I stopped with Anthony Joshua. Oh, I want him to fight this guy. I want him to fight that guy. Anthony Joshua, every time he fights an event. Now, when Anthony Joshua fights, we don't know if he's going to win or lose no more because
because Joshua can get sloppy. He's very vulnerable. That's the thing. You don't know if he can win and lose. Yeah, that's the thing. You're very worried about Joshua because he's not. I know what's the word I'm looking for. He's not really consistent in his performances. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So when he fights now, it's like it's cutting a knife. But Canelo, like he's got a good 3-4 years on him. You know what I mean? He good 3-4 of some quality, good fights, money fights that sit back and make fans. Oh man, this is why we love boxing. And I think if he goes to Showtime, I think he can do that. If he goes to ESPN, I think he's limited because Oscar, Bob Arum and them, even though they're on ESPN with Tyson Fury and all that things, they got the UK.
Yeah. Wait, hold up, EJ, real quickly. I want to say something. In case anybody knows, the Supreme Court has declined to stop the vote counts in Pennsylvania. So go ahead. I just wanted to announce that.
I don't know what that mean anyway. But
well, no, that's what the whole election because that's still unsettled right now to an extent. But we all know Trump lost. but he took it to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said they refused to hear it. They said, we're not going to intervene.
Well,
They told him that.
well, now I understand that though. Thanks for the
Yeah,
breaking. All right, but
yeah.
so going back to Canelo and Oscar and Anthony Joshua, who the big money spenders in the sport. I think Anthony Joshua, to me, he looks like he's probably 2 fights away. Now he's only got one mega fight in him against Fury, and then after that, what do you need to fight for? You know, after everything after that, you know, if you continue your career, you might lose to a young comer. Canelo, has he proven himself? Is he a Hall of Famer? Does he need to fight on? And can he reestablish himself as the number one guy in the sport? Does he still have the hunger to say, yo, I want to be that guy, and who you got? But I think if he really wants to be that type of guy, I think you establish a 5-fight deal with Showtime. Let's renegotiate. Let me give you 200 mil. We're gonna give you 200 mil, even in this Corona era, because you know why I say 200 mil, Dan? Because I feel like Canelo, even with not the people on the seats, but definitely on the pay-per-view, they will buy the pay-per-views. In the UK, in the UK, Callum Smith will definitely people buy to watch Callum Smith in the UK. 100% people watch in Mexico, and 100% people pay to watch it in America. So that's free audiences that you can get your money back. So every time Canelo fight, I think they will start to get their money back. Not totally, but I think Canelo's worth about 200 mil, a 5-fight deal, and against good opposition. I think that's the way forward for Canelo Alvarez. I don't think with ESPN, I don't think that's the platform for it, even though we get free fights. Because, you know, I'll be honest with you, the views with Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, they done great views. That wasn't necessary. That was, I think if you had ESPN, the app, you could get it on your thing. You could watch it. Now, that would be good, you know, really and truly, but I don't know how much money he's going to make because Canelo really, that pay-per-view money is better. That pay-per-view money is something different, you know? So that's at the minute. That's where I'm at the minute. Dan, anything else you want to add?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point, man. It's a good point, and I just want to say that you know, a lot of people, you know, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be upset about the whole Canelo decision. They're gonna, you know, they're gonna go ahead and turn on him now. You know, those who are, you know, the zone supporters, they're all going to turn on him right now and probably view him as an enemy, like some people had did for Manny Pacquiao to an extent. You know, not to that highest degree, but you look, a fighter, you know, you have to understand in this climate, in this whole business of boxing, as we all know, we kind of concede to the fact that is more than the business than just the sport, right? The fact is he's doing what's best for his interests, and that's what you guys argue most fighters should do, right? At the end of the day, it's not about loyalty. I know some people say there has to be some form of loyalty. Yeah, I get that, but at the end of the day, it's the fighters who want to control their own careers. Let them have their right to do that. Canelo has that right. If he feels that he should no longer be tied down to the obligation to Golden Boy or the Zone, then that's his right and that's his prerogative, and let him go his way and let him do what he wants to do. You know, Manny Pacquiao had that right. Floyd Mayweather had that right. Oscar should know better. He had that right. You know, and so forth. So let Canelo do what he wants to do. You know, let him do what he wants to do.
I think Golden Boy. If you was, I think when Golden Boy first started off, I think the company with Shea Mosley and Marco Antonio Barrera was in there, Bernard Hopkins,
Eric Morales, yeah.
I think when they started, no, I don't think Aaron Morales was there. It was just Barrera. I think it was just Barrera. But when they first started off into the company, it was worth so much.
Oh, actually, no, yeah, you're right. Morales was with Top Rank. My bad. But go ahead.
It started off like these were actually they actually when he started Oscar, he had great intentions for the boxers to make money. He made them shareholders in the Golden Boy company, and each of them brought different fighters into the equation. And my whole thing is if you guys remember his first ever fight that he did, what major promotion for Oscar De La Hoya was the fight between Manny Pacquiao and Marco Antonio Barrera, who just beat Nassim Hamid. He was the number one guy, and they that was their first promotion where they made the mistake. They thought Barrera's gonna fight this guy. He's just moving up a weight, this young Filipino guy, and Oscar De La Hoya was trying to get great fights for boxing, and it turned out to be a classic, right? But that was their first mistake. As time goes on, Oscar's like, bomb these great fights. I'm about making money on the seats. Gate, and I'm keeping my guy winning and keeping this going on. I ain't got time to pitch him because Barrera, just got the number one guy Barrera, who's looking to make a lot of money for Barrera, and who's this guy Pacquiao comes along and wipes him out. You know what I mean? And between De La Hoya was getting promoted on Golden Boy, and then he went to this thing, and then De La Hoya was like, "Yo, would you? Okay, I'm gonna fight you now." So that's why I feel that Oscar's probably gonna fight Canelo. What's up, my man? Pound for pound, Michael boxing in the chat. Dan, you see my man Michael from Pound for Pound
Yeah,
Boxing?
yeah. What's up, Mike? What's up, man? Long time no here, brother. Yeah, he made up a good point. He says that yeah, yeah, it is interesting where Canelo goes at this point, but there was some, discontent between both parties, between Oscar, well, between all parties, Oscar, Golden Boy, and the Zone. So, I mean, not Golden Boy. I'm sorry, Canelo, Oscar, and the Zone. So, yeah, we all knew that was coming. He says here, couldn't the argument be paid that the Zone reached a lot of size, and reached a lot with the size of the contract they gave to Canelo? Yeah. I mean, that's what I mentioned too. Is either Canelo won the lawsuit or they decided to go ahead and settle and let him go. Which more likely that's the case. They decided to let him go because they probably knew that they weren't going to win it, and for them to, if they had a chance of winning it, this process is going to drag out like for at least 2 years or 1 year. It wasn't going to be a one overnight victory for them. So they didn't want to waste the revenue and resources. Given the fact they're in a pandemic, they're trying to reserve whatever resources they have left for other business ventures. So it'd be best to let them go and rebuild from that point. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good point, Mike.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike. If you don't know, check out Pound Film Boxing Report with Michael over there on his channel. If you don't know, now you know. And obviously, my man, my co-host here right now, Dan the Man Boxing. Make sure you subscribe to Dan the Man Boxing. If you ain't, now you know Dan the Man Boxing. But I tell you what, this right was interesting time for boxing. Oscar De La Hoya. And so I was talking about Barrera. That was their first major promotion. And then what they did after that, right? Because Bernard Hopkins had all the Philadelphia connection. They brought in Danny Garcia, and then Adrian Broner was even on Gold. Golden Boy had all the eggs. I think Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya could have sat back. What's up, Denise? I ain't seen Denise for a long time.
Yeah, he even had Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was Golden Boy fighter. It's like, what the fuck?
Golden Boy was the golden place, was the in place to be. It was the hottest promotion. Oscar, because Oscar actually had a fair deal with everyone. He actually made money. It was great. It was making all money. The problem was the Mayweather. The way Mayweather used to disrespect him. He couldn't take his ego, couldn't take it. Mayweather was, Mayweather, the way Mayweather used to talk to him, at press conferences and everything like that, it made it hard for him. And he said, you know what? I don't even need these guys. We can do it by myself. My name's on the marquee. But he really said, but Golden Boy was being run by Richard Schaefer on daily operations. He was a great, investor, obviously, Swiss diamond investor over there. He was doing all the day-to-day operations, and Oscar could do what he want. The company was running. They were controlling boxing. And you know what? When Oscar De La Hoya and these guys were all working together, boxing was in a great place. But what tends to happen is your ego takes over and you start doing, ever since that split, that split, the stable's becoming small and small and small, and now to the point now, if he leaves, if Golden Boy promotion was to disappear right now, I don't think no one would care. I
mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but it'd just be, it'd probably be like, well, it'd be a sad story if that happens because it'd be like, it's kind of like the rise of fall situation where there's a predominant promoter in the UX boxing scene. They had they pretty much had the monopoly when it came to a stable of fighters, and then next, it just all collapsed in the blink of an eye within the next few years because of Oscar's bad business practices or his missteps or his ego, pretty much trying to infiltrate how things are done in Golden Boy. And then next, he's deteriorated relationships with prominent boxing managers like Richard Schaefer's and the Al Haymans of the world. So, and then he had to go crying over to Bob Arum. I say crying, but had to go over to Bob Arum to make some type of pact to where they can both share the revenue, do revenue split with their cards, whatnot. And then, next, he got into the Zone. Now they're having a very complex relationship now with the Zone, and now that may fall apart. So it pretty much would be like a sad story, as you want to call it. In other words, I don't think people will. I don't think it's hard to say that people wouldn't care, but people would care eventually. It's like, man, they were on top of the game, and then next, they just collapsed.
Well, that's what it looks like. My man Aztec brought a great thing. Oscar set the bar for the first major boxing promoter of Mexican descent times the pass. You know what? The pass the torch, 100%. But this is the thing, Aztec, right? Even you're 100% right about being the first, right? But this is the thing. Oscar, and obviously promoting Mexican fighters, obviously Canelo, and all the guys, yeah. But the thing is, Oscar, at some point, it was all about him and not about the fighters. And making the money and doing deals behind their back. So you became the guy that you didn't want to become. How did that work? Because of your habits and your lifestyles and the money and everything like that, you became the guy you don't want to be. We got my man Jalik, the leader. What's up, Jalik?
Shout out to EJ, my man, 50 grand. Shout out to Dan, the man, what's popping. And shout out, it might be somebody else on the thing.
No,
yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, let me read out this from Jalik, and then you give your comment. Golden Boy will have to turn their attention to Ryan Garcia, as me and Dan put out, and Virgil Ortiz now. They better hope both of those young pups will become world champions. Even if they become world champions, Dan, I really think you're not bringing in the pay-per-view revenue. You know what I mean? Selling to young girls and this and that, but grown men want to watch Canelo. Like when Canelo fights, people ain't missing. Ryan Garcia is gonna have to go in and do a job. Who's he fighting? Luke. He's gonna have to do a job on Luke Campbell and smash through the lightweight division just to get attention. And that's
well. Let me add something to that too. I just think okay.
And Ortiz and then Virgil Ortiz, they're gonna have to do some wave. And I think to me, they end of the day, they're not dragging in right now. They're gonna have to do a lot of work right now, not dragging in now. Going forward right now, the reason why I say Golden Boy might collapse in that, the deal, Dan brought it up earlier on, and Dan might talk on it, and this is after that, then Jalik can jump in, is the contract with the Zone. How is that tangible? How is their working relationship because of this? Because remember, it was all hinged on Canelo, and Canelo's not there. So how do you keep that going? Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's hard to tell what happens at this point with their relationship. But as of right now, as we speak, they're renegotiating their contract, so we'll see how that plays out. But what I want to say is that the only way Golden Boy can make Ryan Garcia and Virgil Ortiz as their next, potentially the next, boxing stars, up to the level of Canelo Alvarez, then they're going to have to bring them off. They're going to have to introduce them to a wider platform. And I hate to say it, I don't think the Zone is a platform for them to do that. I'm just keeping it real, because it's no disrespect to the Zone. Yeah, they're great. They're a very good content provider, but the fact is that they're not available in most critical markets, which is rural America. That's where you build boxing stars based off areas where there's not much accessibility other than regular, digital television programming, where big bulk of Canelo's fan base is. Now, Ryan Garcia needs access to that. Virgil Ortiz needs access to that, and you're not giving them access to that. How can you build them based off the fact they're on an app? How can you do that? So, like I said, it's hard to tell at this point where their relationship stands at this point with Golden Boy and the Zone. So we'll see how this pans out. But other than that, I don't know. But I think, if you ask me, I think that Golden Boy is going to, not Golden Boy, I think the Zone is going to renege the offer where they're going to receive little than what they were getting for their cards. That's the way I see it. Now that Canelo is no longer there.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Good take. Let's get from Jalik. Jalik, what's your take on what you've heard and put your points in? Go ahead, Jalik.
When I first heard about this, I thought it would happen. I figured, I thought it would happen with the Danny Jacobs fight, that it'll be controversial, but he dominated him. I just had a feeling that they was going to devalue his money because he started to get too big, and he had the leverage over everybody without generating the money that Mayweather has. So I figured this would actually come. But when the lawsuit was mentioned 2 months ago, I said the best thing is for them to leave and him to leave Golden Boy. So Golden Boy, in my opinion, Oscar De La Hoya and the Zone done a silent agreement to save their reputation and to let Canelo go. So it worked out in Canelo's favor, because if it really went to court, Golden Boy Oscar would have got exposed on what he was doing with Canelo, in my opinion. So it kind of helped him in a sense. Where they going to be at that in a few years, I'm not sure. And I got a feeling Ryan Garcia, who in my opinion has more upside than Canelo is. Canelo been a pro for 15 years. So he's probably on his way out of boxing within maybe 6 fights. He probably won't be that out of his prime. So Ryan Garcia, in my opinion, has more upside. However, I think he needs a better backing. De La Hoya drug problem or something. He's not a great promoter in a sense. You get what I'm saying? And like Dan and Man was saying, being on the app does hinder you in a sense. But one thing Ryan does do, he promotes himself really well by himself. So if I was him, I would just, try to leave Golden Boy and just build up his PR team and just be his own free agent and his own promoter, because it's like, if you're a rapper, why you don't need to sign a big deal. Chance the Rapper I don't even think he got a big, but he a big name, but he's not signed to like Def Jam or nothing like that. So that's how you got to work the game like that. So I think it was great for all involved. I'm not sure how long the Dazn will be on in the US, but they will carry on outside of the US. That's what people don't realize. And like I was saying before, Ryan Garcia takes less money to market, and they can get a better return on their investment. So all they need to make is Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. And to be honest with you, Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis is bigger than any Canelo fight, and I will bet money on that. I think it'd do 750 to a million. Canelo doesn't promote himself. He needs to, first of all, he needs to get his swag back. He needs to hire a whole PR team, a whole manager. He's living off. It's like a rapper that's living off his first CD going platinum. He got to reintroduce himself in the game, the boxing game. When's the last time he fought? Over a year ago. He got to reintroduce himself. So he does have skills. Caleb Plant, good fight. Charlo, good fight. And David Benavidez, those are all good fights. But do they do better than Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia? No. But it's still be a good fight, and he's still a good fighter. I'm hoping he get his money, but I'm not sure how long Golden Boy will be around. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's a good point, man. Dan, you want to say that? Anything else you want to say, Jaleel? Go ahead.
Yeah, it just crazy how fast it happened. But if I think this was the way to see a lot of this stuff. They don't want the real deal juice to get out, so they say, okay, I'm sure they signed some NDA agreements. They probably gave Canelo maybe a couple mil, and then see the two people that had the inside information was Oscar and Dazn. They had more of the information than Canelo, because he already went behind his back and said he was going to fight Triple G when Canelo never agreed to it. So Canelo done his thing and got off. Will he make 35 million? Hopefully. He's going to have to earn it now. So the good thing about this deal, he's going to have to actually earn it. So maybe he'll start trying to promote fights now. You get what I mean? Maybe he'll try to promote fights because he got an incentive now. And I'm not sure who he's going to work with. Maybe Al Heyman. But it's going to be very, very interesting. And if that fight with Caleb Plant happens, that's actually a solid fight. I got Canelo winning a tough fight. Maybe like 7 rounds to 5. Because I'm not sure how Canelo will be able to get to Plant's body. Caleb Plant is actually pretty solid, but he just don't really got the experience right now. So I favor Canelo in that fight if it happens. But it's going to be crazy. Ryan Garcia, I'm not sure why somebody just re-signed the deal with him. I don't know if it was Virgil Ortiz. I was like, why would his dad let him re-sign with Oscar? They must be manipulating. So see, a lot of people, they look up at the upfront money instead of look at the big picture. They might have a lot of debt. Their upfront money, they must don't have no bread, because I don't know why Virgil Ortiz would sign a long-term deal with Golden Boy. I don't know why he did that. And and Ryan Garcia. But we'll see where it goes, man. It's just gonna be real interesting. See if Canelo can get his swag back. And we're gonna see, because I mean, he's gonna have to do something.
I'll tell you why they signed with him: the security. Like remember again, like this, the guy you're talking about, Caleb Plant, right? And the guy still. I look at that Caleb Plant. Yeah, he should be able to win that fight. It's a hard fight for him, but the fights they generate money. That's the fight people want to see. And remember again, he only fights 2 times a year. So you've got Mexican Independence and Cinco de Mayo. Now with the Dazn, it never really catch fire, but with Showtime, now they can bring in all the the Mexican flags, and they bring everything in, and all the paraphernalia what comes in that. And at the end of the day, Canelo, I think as well, being with Showtime, I think he got more control about what he wants to do, and also with ESPN. So I'm not gonna outplay this not being an ESPN, and you know what I mean.
ESPN opponents. What opponents does he have on ESPN?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But he's got the UK connection with Frank Warren, so they can bring in. No, they haven't. No, Billy Johnson is not there no more. You're right.
If I was Canelo, I would stay a free agent. I would do like Mikey Garcia. to see the way he go back and forth and don't burn no bridges. Where that way, if he got a big fight on ESPN, go there and then do it with Al Heyman instead of just maybe signing full with Al Heyman. Because most of the fights is with Al Heyman. It's crazy. If Al Heyman signed him, that's a crazy, bro. And I word on the streets, I heard a rumor that Al Heyman was about to sign Terrence Crawford, bro. That's gonna be crazy if he do.
Well, I think they should, man. But if he when Terrence Crawford's I think he renewed. Didn't he renew? He got his contract.
He renewed too. Like I said, a lot of these guys must have debt and they don't understand their value because I wouldn't have signed no. I don't let nobody get the leverage on me. Even my credit cards, I pay my credit cards in full. They don't make no money off me.
Yeah, but when someone comes to, it's not like you gotta go and see Bud Crawford. You gotta go all the way down to bloody where he at Nebraska to have a talk to him because he over there fishing. You go find him in the woods and stuff like that. And the Watsons ain't trying to go down there to go find Bud Crawford for that.
But check this out though. This is the connection right here, EJ. Yeah. Maurice Hooker is trained by Bomac. Bomac is Crawford's trainer and Maurice Hooker, and they're good friends. So there you go. Yeah. They talk. They're just like us. They talk. So I'm sure Heyman is smart, bro. He plays chess. So of course he already treat people good. Of course he gonna do extra stuff for Hooker. Have Hooker. He understand the game, bro. Trust me.
No, I got you, but I'm just saying, but most of these fighters, they kind of just keep things simple. Like Tim Bradley could have did that. I remember Tim Bradley just beat Pacquiao, right? No, yeah, he beat Pacquiao, and in the second fight, like before the second fight, I think his contract renewed. He could have went to Al Heyman and fought Mayweather for a bigger fight. I thought that would have been a better fight for him, but he went to fight Pacquiao again, and he got less money, whatever. And it's like some of these guys, they looking at the bag right in front of them. That unless the other, we don't know if other people are making offers towards you either. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's like, so I don't know what the deals are, what's available. But let's go to talk about Deontay Wilder real quickly. So Deontay Wilder, it just came out recently and saying he got offered more money to fight Anthony Joshua, than the rematch with Tyson Fury, and he chose to fight. Tyson Fury, and I was like, yo, so you got offered more money, and you could have did that fight. You didn't have to fight Tyson Fury because you're still the champion. It was a draw. You could have got more money fighting Joshua. He chose to fight Fury because it was an easier fight. But the thing is, the less money because he gave his word. It ain't nothing to make your word.
That's stupid.
You thought you could beat Fury. That's what it was about, man.
Exactly, bro. Like what is he doing? First of all, let's retract this. EJ, say if you the WBC champion, right? And I'm your advisor, I will not let you have a fight unless it's a rematch clause. And in the rematch clause, it will be immediate based on you losing or a draw or a fucking draw. So that's the reason why he was able to have those 2 extra tune-up fights instead of doing it in an immediate rematch. So that's Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman fault. You get what I'm saying? They made a mistake on that right there.
No, we don't really, because see, they got the draw, right? It was a great fight as a draw. And you're like, okay, we got the draw. We should have won that fight. It was a great fight for boxing. Fans wanted to see it again. Then Fury goes, we ain't trying to fight you straight away. Now, the rematch, Eddie Hearn approached him and said, listen, forget the rematch. We've got money on the table for you. And then Wilder, because he's just being ignorant and because he don't like Eddie Hearn, let's get it right. He don't like Eddie Hearn. He didn't like what he's saying. He missed out on the bag.
Yeah.
And now he's over here complaining. Oh, I would have got more money now, Fury, because I would have got more money. He's out here putting his business out here. So
his mouth got him in trouble.
He's out here saying, "Well, I would have got more money against AJ, so you have to fight me." I'm like, and then you're saying you have to fight him, but at the same time you're saying you want to bring him to court, and then you saying your trainer poisoned your water, bro. You're doing too much. Bro.
He needs a PR person, bro. The mouth can get you in trouble. My teacher used to tell me that he doesn't get it, and then he don't. It sounds like everybody around him is afraid of him, bro. Like, stop talking, bro. You're putting yourself in a hole. Just be quiet, bro. Be quiet. Let's have a team, bro. Because now it's like, oh, he's spilling the beans out everywhere. It's like, bam, 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 and he waited till the contract is up for the third fight. Why did he wait till the contract is up? He should have been saying this 6 months ago. Now he wait till it's out, and then does he really want? I don't know, bro.
Bro, he got advised, but that's why. See, the thing is, I went to call Luke DeBella, right? because Lou DiBella got a lot of stick over this thing, right? Mike, the link's in the chat, and whoever wants to jump in, just jump in, right? Lou DiBella got a lot of stick about it, trying to set Wild up for 100 mil. Like now you look back at it, it's like, bro, he could have 2 fights. They said you could fight. They said to him in his first fight, he could fight anyone he wants. He had to fight Anthony Joshua, bro. He would have got more money. He would have got paid in his whole entire life, bro. You know what I mean? And Al Heyman.
Would that be the case, or would they be able to take it to court? Because if they can't get a rematch deal done, what would have happened if this COVID stuff came on, and if they don't want to pay Canelo, what makes you think they would have paid Wilder?
No, but they paid Canelo. Like Canelo had 11 fight deal, 11 fight deal, 100 mil. So what they did, they didn't pay him the entire money because they just paid him probably where he's at. So they paid him like 30 or something mil. But he still got paid.
Right, but he didn't get the whole deal.
No, I know that, but that's what I'm trying to say. You can't give him the whole money. You just give him some of the money, right? But what I'm trying to say to you, let's go back to the Wilder fight, right?
Yeah.
2 fights thing. Wilder would have been no one. He would have picked whoever he wanted in the first fight, whether that be Dillian White and Wilder. See, what Wilder was worried about is like, I want to fight Dillian White. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight. Nah. You look at it now. You look at it now. You see what? Hold up. You see what Povetkin.
Yeah,
White. He should have rolled up in that joint. That was dumb, right? Then let's say he fought Dillian White. He would have definitely beat Dillian White, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Then that would have made it big because the UK was like, well, we would have seen Anthony Joshua, right? Now that fight would have been Anthony Joshua. Now Al Heyman would have said, yo, Al Heyman's an advisor. He's rich anyway. Al Heyman, I don't see Al Heyman. He doesn't got no problem putting these guys on the zone and making them now. He wasn't exclusively because, they got the Fox deal. They got the thing deal. What Wilder was trying to say, he was putting all these barriers in front of him. But now after this thing has crashed and burned and he's lost against Fury, now you're like, I would have got more money fighting him. And that, so I'm like, yo, that's your business now.
Yeah,
it's like the Highlander. You gave all your stuff over to Fury, and now he can do what he want to do. Now your value is still good now, but because he keeps talking about your trainer poison and all the stuff you're talking, your stock is going down, bro. Like down, sinking, like the Titanic. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, your mouth will get you in trouble. He just needs a team of people that tell him the truth and to see. Al Heyman don't never talk, but I peep his patterns out based on his fighters. He has a big desire to always be in control no matter what. I don't know if you ever negotiate a car or ever negotiate a price on something. You ever try to get so greedy and try to keep lowering the price and then somebody sell it and you be like, fuck, I should have just took that deal. That's how it is with them. Sometimes you just gotta give up something, bro. You can't control every fucking thing, bro. You already got certain control. So him not fighting Anthony Joshua and fighting Luis Ortiz, I'm like, why is he doing that? He's trying to get control. Like this guy's is like, and then not only that, Luis Ortiz didn't even prepare him for Tyson Fury. If you're gonna fight somebody, so that's where the moves was wrong, and that reverts back to not overplaying his hand. Sometimes you just gotta take it.
Well, I don't think any fight would have gotten ready for Tyson Fury. But the thing is, this game, again, I'll reiterate, is about making that money. And then they make money. Whether the zone would have paid you 30 mil, 50 mil for your first fight. So let's say they offered him 100 mil, right? So 100 mil in 2 fights. So what we're saying is the first fight, 50 mil against Deontay Wilder. The pay-per-view in England, you would have got your money. You would have got your 50 mil regardless. Dang, 100%. Because Joshua got like 30 or 40 mil, right? So against Dillian White, 50 mil in your bank account straight away. Bang. Second fight, 50 mil. Another 50 mil just straight. Now, 50 mil, and then you can get maybe gate revenue and all them things there. That's like near 60, 70 mil straight in your bank account. Win or lose, and then you have a rematch card, like win or lose against AJ, you good. You good. You didn't need Tyson Fury. You just got the one belt. You put for undisputed. Everything was on the line. No, what you did is like, no, I'm gonna sit around here. I'm gonna get old. I'm gonna wait for Tyson Fury to get better and stronger, and I'm gonna beat him. Worst mistake of your life, bro. Another thing as well. Let me talk about the Al Heyman thing, and I'm just gonna speculate on this one, right, Jalik, right?
Yeah.
I think he rolled up to Al Heyman's office, yelling and screaming, "No, they cheated me. They did this, that, the other." Al Heyman tried to calm him down. He's too wild. He ain't listening. Al Heyman just, all right, let him just talk. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna accuse these people they're cheating. And rather than sitting down and keeping his mouth shut and listen to Al Heyman advising him, I think and then when he said to Al Heyman in the office, this is what I think. When he said to Al Heyman, I think my trainer poisoned my water. Al Heyman looked at him and said, "It's time for you to leave. It's time for you to leave my office right there." I think Al Heyman stopped at that point. In my opinion, Al Heyman stopped advising him and said, "Listen, my friend, yeah, my job is to advise you. You're obviously advising yourself at this point. We have nothing to talk about." And I think he kicked him out of the office, bro, because when he started accusing the trainer, I'm telling you, this is what I think.
That's what done it, bro. That trainer shit.
When he started doing the trainer, and he said, you know, Al Heyman is an advisor, but you have to be able to listen to your advisor to make the most money, right? And when he did that, I think Al Heyman just looked at him sideways and said, "This guy, he's lost. He's in a lost place. You go find yourself to him." And I think he's left him to his own devices. Having saying that, we have a guest been here for the longest. And I don't know if you know Jalik, man. You need to go over check his show, Pound Found Boxing. Michael, how you doing, Michael?
What's up, bro? What's up, Mike?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, EJ? It was a long time no hear, my brother.
Yo, it seemed like it's been years, bro. I'm all right, man. How you been, bro? I see you've been working hard with Three Kings and that, right?
Absolutely. I'm a senior writer over there now. I do articles and interviews and whatnot over there. So everything's all good. How y'all been doing?
Yeah, man. We on lockdown right now over in the UK that started 2 days ago. So it's gonna be a bit rough, boy. But you know, but you know what? On lighting news, you getting your man out of the office right now. So I guess you're happy about that, Trump, right? Or you happy about Trump going now, right?
Oh, absolutely. That goes without saying. That goes without saying.
So that's something to celebrate. All right, let's give you a take on the Canelo Alvarez, and then after that we'll talk about Wilder if you want.
In terms of Canelo, when he was stripped of that IBF title at middleweight for not facing the mandatory, and Golden Boy had a role in that in terms of bundling the negotiations, you could see the writing on the wall. He kind of never forgave Oscar for that. As I was saying in the chat, there was a level of distrust from that point on. And you could just tell by the comments when Golden Boy re-signed Garcia, Canelo was in attendance, and the media at the time was talking to Canelo about the situation. There was a comment about Oscar, and Canelo sharply said, Oscar says a lot of things. That tells you right there that he didn't trust him, he didn't like him, and you saw the lawsuit that Canelo filed earlier this year, and you knew things was going down a downward spiral from there.
100%, man. I mean, it was not looking good. So what does he do now? What does Canelo do now? What would you think? Where would you like to see him?
It's a wait and see. He's still a cash cow. He's still making as much, if not more, money than anybody right now. If I was him, I would just sit back and let all options come my way. I wouldn't sign with anybody immediately. I go old school Ray Leonard route, who who basically had an advisor, Mike Trainer, worked with the promoter here for a fight, work with the promoter there for a fight, to make either the biggest fight or to make the most money. Same thing with Floyd, who kind of controlled his own. He took control of his own and began with Mayweather Promotions and whatnot. I would go either that route, regardless. I wouldn't sign with anybody, not long term. There's no need to.
100%. I agree with you. Which one? You got Showtime or ESPN? No, I mean one fight there we'll talk about.
It depends. It all depends on what division Canelo decides to fight moving forward. Does he want to stay at middleweight, super middleweight, or does he want to continue on at light heavyweight? If he wants to stay middleweight, super middleweight range, who's there? Well, he could fight the Showtime route and fight maybe a Charlo brother, maybe fight a Andrade, someone of that nature if he wants to. Excuse me, phone ringing because of call. My apologies for that. If you want to go light heavyweight, maybe he can go with Aaron because there are more light heavyweights there. It just all depends at the end of the day what division that Canelo wants to compete in.
Yeah, I mean he's really middle, like middle. I don't think he's gonna make middle no more. That's my thing about it. But you know, he might think Aztec. Before Dan answers on the Wilder thing, what's that Aztec? Aztec 101.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. What's
up, bro? How you doing?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Good. Loud and clear, bro. Loud and clear, bro. We have Mike over here. We have Jalit, the leader. So this is Aztec 101, man. How you doing, Aztec? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. To me, this is good news, man. I think everyone's excited. Just it kind of opens up a lane, merges all the streets together. Hopefully, we get the fights we want.
What fight you want, man? He's your guy. This is your guy. You know what I mean? You're a long-time fan of my man Canelo. So what fights you want? Who you want him to be with? Would you like long-term contract? Would you like which fight?
Oh yeah.
Who you want him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go. Who you want him to fight?
Which gives him. Which I want him to take the route that gives him the most freedom to take on opponents from different promoters rather than being stuck in the politics of a promoter. So I don't want him to go into a situation where he's kind of stuck like how he was with Golden Boy. So for me, the fights that I would want to see him in against, and this is just because, you know, I think that there's interesting fights in all the divisions he's in, but the ones that intrigue me the most are the ones that fans have been asking for a long time. So that would be, you know, Charlo. You know, Billy Joe Saunders kind of threw himself out the equation. So I don't mind Plant since he's the next name that's being brought up. But you know, the guys at 175 also look interesting. You know, you got you do have Better Beef, who I think is a tailor-made fight for him. I know fans want to see him, but you know, guys like Better Beef, come forward fighters, I think will be tailor-made for him, even though they're in higher divisions. So I'm interested in seeing him tested. So I want to see guys. I want to see him against guys that move. Plant, Charlo, Andrade, and also, I mean, I wouldn't mind Benavidez, but that really depends on Benavidez. I want to see him continue to fight. In the meantime, Canelo can fight Charlo. He can fight Plant.
Yeah, that's some good fights. So, right, boy. So thanks, Aztec 101. Intangible boxing, boy. Everyone's jumping on this one, boy. We have my man. I'm biased in the chat. Intangible boxing. Unmute yourself. What's your take on this Canelo leaving Dazn, leaving Golden Boy? What's your take, Intangible?
I'm glad. I think it opens things up for him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him against Plant if the fight gets made.
What's your him leaving it? Which network would you like him to sign with? Either it may be a one-fight deal, or would you like him to fight a longer? Like I suggested that he should go Showtime and do the same thing with me with a 5-fight deal, and at the end of it, the last 5 fight by Oscar De La Hoya. That's just my own little thing here. But which network would you like to see him on? Which is going to be more access for the Latino fan base and the UK fans and the world? Forget, because I don't like Dazn myself personally. Like, I think Dazn is very limited. Which network you want to see and which fight you want to see? Go ahead.
I mean, I don't want him to limit himself by a network because that could prevent some certain fights from being made. But I mean, Fox or Showtime, it really doesn't matter, to be honest.
100%.
As long as he's not under a promotional, really, it doesn't matter what network he's on. As long as he's not strapped under a promotional company or a network that's going to force him, or a salary or a contract that's going to force him to only fight an exclusive guys like Masvidal.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's great news for boxing. I think Canelo, the number one payer, the number one earner in the sport, is free to make some fights, and I think Canelo wants to make the great fights for the fight fans, and Oscar De La Hoya needs to go and get his money, his cocaine money from somewhere else right now. That's what I think right now. Now, I know you guys obviously, and we're still on this Canelo thing right now, but I did promise Mike, I want to hear Mike's take on the Wilder scenario, because I know Mike is, me and Mike had a back on the forwards on Wilder over Marcellus Wallace and the way he's conducted himself. This is me and Mike have been going backwards and forwards on Wilder, and I finally, Mike, conceded that Wilder is a waste of time in terms of out the ring. I have to concede outside the ring. Now, I still kind of like his boxing abilities, but right now, Mike, I have to be what you said years ago is right on the money. You told me about his brother was no good. The people around him are going to corrupt him. They're going to mess him up. We also know that obviously he's gone on interviews with certain organizations. We do not mention their name, even though they know who they are. And you know what I mean, and saying he's only going to have their interviews on their channels. Mike, what's your take on this whole mess up? And Mike, what's your take of, obviously, you told me so. Go ahead.
I mean, if I was on video right now, I would be shaking my head because that clip that he put out last week, or almost a week ago now, it didn't make any sense. I did not like, and I can't emphasize this enough, I do not like how he threw Mark Breland under the bus the way he did. His rationale regarding the fight, it sounds a bit conspiratorial, if not outright Hotep-ish. I don't get it. And in terms of within that, he basically told on himself without even realizing it regarding the proposed fight with Anthony Joshua. Prior to Joshua's loss and the negotiations behind that, he basically admitted that all this talk about he wasn't given this much money. Well, bruh, you just basically admitted that you was offered a lot more money, and you went another route. So you can't knock Joshua now for basically coming out to Sky Sports and saying, "Okay, now we know the truth." Because Wilder, in his own little way, told the truth. I as much as I'm criticizing him right now, I don't want to just indict him to the point where he's just gone and whatnot. But at the same time, this is not good. The past week, it shows why boxers need to follow boxing, and boxers need to follow athletes from NFL, especially the NBA, and have some PR, because if Wilder would have had some PR people around him, they would have told him, "The fuck is wrong with you? You don't do this shit. You just don't." Because in the end of the day, I don't care if he does go to this person and they may approve of him and quote unquote brown nose him and quote brown nose. It's not a good look. It's just not a good look to people with rational minds and rational thinking. It's just not a good look.
Well, hey, Mike, listen, I thought Mike would be a bit harsh with me, but he's a bit nice today, so I didn't let him right. All right, let me ask Aztec.
No, I could have just said, motherfucker, what's wrong with you? You don't make no goddamn sense. Shut the fuck up. I could have said all that, but I'm being nice here, bro.
Hey, Aztec 101. What's your take on the Wilder situation? Go ahead.
Man, this is disappointing, man. I've been a really big Wilder fan. I've always thought that this guy's like the most exciting thing that happened to heavyweight boxing since Tyson left. And that, man, I don't know. Like I think he's got too many yes men around him, and
Yep.
There's no one there really to check him.
Exactly.
I think he'll get rid of anybody that'll check. I mean, this what he's doing to Breland shows that if he looks at it as if you get in his way, then you're against him, and that's not healthy because sometimes people that care about you will get in your way if you're about to do some stupid shit. And I don't know, man. It was one thing when the fans were doing it. Like the fans are putting out videos, you know, they're trying on gloves for the first time, trying to see if, you know, they can make it flap. And that it was funny that I stayed out of it. I could have made a ton of videos about that, but I didn't even touch it just because, you know, in my head I was thinking, well, why fan the flame when Wilder isn't even acknowledging these excuses? But then fucking, you know, Wilder comes out and lists all the excuses that the fans have been saying, word for word, and now he's co-signing it. So now it's like, man, this is not the way that, you know, a champion should act, man. Like, it's not.
100%, boy. You know,
Like, he pulled an Adrian Broner.
We gonna, you know what? We're gonna talk about Adrian Broner. You know what? We're gonna get onto that because Mike, that's another one Mike told me about. Jilly, you gonna get onto that one.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna get into that one as well. Intangible boxing, Deontay Wilder situation. Go ahead.
It's kind of beyond description. I don't really know what to say. I mean, where to start? Okay. Yeah, so he says Mark Breland apparently, you know, spiked his drink. He's going to and even he admitted it himself that he's looking for reasons why he lost. He's just I don't know. He's just going to whatever extent he can to come to terms with the result. I don't know.
Yeah, it's sad. It's one thing because I think Fury is fishy with the gloves too because the sparring partner was already saying it. But it's like I said live the other day. I'm sure you'll have somebody stole from you, but you wasn't 100% sure and you didn't have them on tape. So for you to accuse them of stealing something from you will cause all types of problems. So sometimes you just got to be like, bam. Now, if you know for sure that this person stole from you and you got them on tape, then you can say, okay, this is what the evidence is and I got you. Because to accuse somebody of something and then it's not there, even if you know this person done it, it's going to look bad. So that's the situation that Wilder is in. If he going to sue him, then sue him. But to be playing these games like that. But the thing that really, really done some damage is the fact that he said that about his own guy. Like, why would you say that about your own guy? Like, why is he against you like that? Like, why is Mark Breland against you? Because he trained with Manuel Store before? Come on, bro. I mean, so many people there. So, and maybe he does have evidence, and we'll see. But it's just he's not accepting responsibility. He just lost. Maybe he convinced himself that he's not able to lose. And Wilder, this is coming. I'm a Wilder dude. I didn't debate all Wilder and all this type stuff. But I don't lie about nobody. I can't lie. See, I'm the type. He wouldn't be cool with me because I'm not gonna lie for him.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. See what happens is a lot of people is probably scared of him. They probably think he's gonna beat them up if you tell them the truth. He's 6'7". I'm sure he can whoop my ass, but I'm still not afraid of him. I'm not gonna lie to him. I don't give a fuck. I tell him the truth. He just kicked me off his team. I say fuck his team. I can't do that because I got to answer to myself at the end of the day, and I can't lie to nobody, bro.
All right, so what we're gonna do, because I know YouTube ain't having it, yeah. You guys with the profanity, let's try and leave it alone. We can try and get up it. That's cool. That's cool. Everyone, because that's all right. That's all right. I mean, I enjoy it myself, but you
gotta say it at the beginning, EJ.
Nah, I know. But it was because I started to count them now. I was like, you know, like you could do like the first 10 there, but after that,
nah. Just say you can't do no your friend. You gotta even if you hurt her feelings. See, you gotta be like water. You gotta tell the truth, even if it hurt her feelings. Go, bro.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now. Don't be doing no more. YouTube ain't having it. So, right, we gonna do it right now. So everyone's had their little take on the Wilder And then look, my man Aztec. He brought up I think it was Aztec 101. He brought up the Wilder, the AJ Broner situation. I'm gonna go my take, then go Jalek, pound for pound, Aztec, intangible. We're gonna go down the line like that. All right, Adrian Broner, in my opinion, is so out of touch with what's going on. The judge, from what I understand, is like he's got charges, outstanding charges that he's supposed to pay to the woman or to the kids or whatever it is, right? She's got him in the court, and she said to him, well, why are you on these videos with all the money in his pocket? Now, instead of him saying them videos are old, I ain't got it like that. No, I think which video you talk about, you're gonna have to be more specific. What year are you talking about? Because Adrian Broner in the current time hasn't really been flashing money like that. Now he says, which is dumb, well, friends be giving him money. They've been giving them money. And she's thinking, well, they're giving you money. How come they give you money when I'm sending out all these charges? You've been avoiding and ignoring all my charges. Well, boy, what you need to do, judge, is I need to fight this rich cat, and then I'll give you the money after that. It's like the woman was looking at it. Are you trying to take me for an idiot? Like, what are you trying to take me for? She's, bro, you're in contempt of court because you're trying to take me for a fool. And you know the funny thing about it? Broner is talking to the judge. So where the heck is his lawyer? You know what? To me, in my mind, he thought, you know what? I'm going to save money. I'm going to go in there, talk to the judge. It's going to be A-okay. I think in his mind, he thought that. Because you can see in his mind, he's like, I'm getting arrested. Yeah, you're getting arrested. You're telling the judge that you actually got big friends who got money and they ain't giving it to you, right? They ain't giving it to you. They're giving you money when you're broke or stuff like that, but they can't give you to pay off these fines. Broner, from my opinion, you're not too smart. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You should that is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Just go, Jalek. You go first. Go ahead, Jalek.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try to front for the public. See, a lot of these guys, their feeling of importance come from money, right? So their only sense of who they are is with money. So they fronting for the public, even though they might got $1,000 in the bank, they're lying. You get what I'm saying? That's why you can't be fronting and trying to front for people. That it doesn't go nowhere. And once again, your mouth gets you in trouble. They don't know how to control their mouth. They just say anything and they put their foot in their mouth, and then, like you said, the people can take him to court all because he just running his fucking mouth. Like, just be quiet, bro. You don't gotta try to impress people. Nobody cares, bro. Like, they be just saying stuff about their money. Like, that just let me know, like, you ever hear the term, some people so broke, all they got is money. Like, nobody cares, bro. Like, nobody want to care about your money no more. Like, I'm not no little kid. I don't care no more. Okay, you got money. That's it. So that's on him. And it's crazy. AB, one thing about AB, though, AB ain't never make no excuses, though. I can say that. And AB ain't never ducked nobody. So I got to give him some credit. I ain't never heard AB really ducking nobody and took fights that I was like, why he take that fight? Why he fight Porter? You know, I'm like, he taking fights that he didn't really have to. But he definitely needs some type of help, though. You can see it, though. He's trying to.
I'll tell you what he did duck. He ducked the court appeal to make him pay the money for the kid. That's what he did duck. That's why his ass is in jail.
He probably don't got the bread, like you said. A lot of these guys got a lot of debt.
What he said to. He said he got friends. This is what he said. He said I got friends who give me money. So she's like, if they friends who give you money, then why didn't they give you money to pay for these appeals? Is that? I mean,
yeah. And now Heyman probably let him borrow money. You hear what said? Al Heyman let him borrow money, but he probably in the doghouse with Al Heyman because he makes. I'm sure you've seen the video where he said they held his money from the Pacquiao fight. They held his money. Wasn't that fight almost 2 years ago? They held some of his money.
Why they held his money? What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they trying to save him from himself. He's spending too much. He probably got a lot of child support. See, people look at money. I look at the debt that they got because you can make $1 million a year, have no children, have no debt at all, and still make more money than the person making 10 million. So a lot of people be talking about money, but they don't talk about your debt. That's why you got, not to get off subject, that's why you got a lot of scammers like doctors and stuff because they got all that medical school debt and all that shit. So they just do anything. You ever go to the dentist and they trying to upsell you? I'm like, bro, stop, bro. They make you feel like a piece of meat when you go to the dentist because it's all about people's debt. So people got to start talking about that more. It ain't about your money. It's about how much you owe and really got.
Yeah, well, he owe and he needs to pay and get himself out. He gonna be all right.
Yeah, I hope so, bro.
He gonna be all right. He got rich friends. Let's go. Pound Michael. Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
He got rich friends.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, right? I don't care about what he said. That's what the judge done him like that. You got rich friends? Okay, let them pay you out of this. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Arrogance, belligerence, immaturity, kind of delusions of grandeur. We just talked about how Wilder is in a sense living and talking like he has a false sense of reality. Same thing can be applied to Adrian Broner, who's acting in many ways, and I'm not saying he's doing drugs, but his actions he's acting like someone who has not hit rock bottom. And he needs to hit rock bottom before he can have his moment of clarity and look inward and fix whatever is going on and overcome his demons. That's what I get from him. It's a certain addiction that's going on with him outside the ring. And I'm not necessarily talking drugs. I'm talking attitude, and I'm talking the way he lives, his approach to life that is wrong, but deeply disturbing and troublesome.
Well, 100%. So he ain't gonna get no better. AB's
not anytime soon. That's why I say he's acting like someone who hasn't hit rock bottom. For him to really have his come to Jesus moment, for lack of better phrasing, he needs to hit rock bottom, and he has not yet. My worry is when he hits rock bottom, I fear what will really happen to him.
Well, I talked to Mike Stanford, and I was thinking of calling Mike Stanford. That's his trainer. I talked to him before, and he was telling me, what's AB saying he retiring? He goes, he's just playing, he's trying to, dig up the money, get the money and stuff like that. He said, told me the story about Adrian Broner. He said, listen, man, he said the kid was trouble. He was a very good amateur, but I knew he was very good. And just I was thinking of turning pro. He got in trouble with the law, and I think he was supposed to go like 50 years or something like that. I don't know what it was, but for whatever reason, he got himself out of that situation. There and then, Mike Stanford said, I'm making him turn pro because I knew he gonna get himself in trouble in jail. This is like way before he turned pro, right? He said, I'm gonna make him turn pro. I'm gonna make you a lot of money because he's got the personality. He can fight. I said, this guy could make us a lot of money, and he did. He made Mike Stafford a lot of money. And then you saw the situation with him and Mike Stafford in the corner where he stopped listening. But that's when he had all the people around him in his ear. Now, Mike Stafford was like, well, I'm getting paid. Okay, he going to run his mouth. Don't matter about it. I'm going to keep building the champions in the gym and keep it going. The band camp, AB, all about the business. Got his dad combing his hair and all that stuff there. But the Mike Stanford knew even at that point that this kid's gonna get himself in trouble, and that's what's happened to him. He is a law above himself, bro. He was in trouble before he became a boxer, and even when he was a boxer, he was always in trouble, and that's what's kept up with him. We could talk about Tank situation with that, but these guys, you gotta remember, these guys are rich. They got money. They're gonna get themselves out of it. So my whole thing is that, bro. He has to understand himself. You're a grown man. You ain't a little kid. You need to act like a grown man. And maybe, like Mike said, we're going to go rock bottom in prison to make him realize, I need to behave myself, bro, and get myself out of this situation. Go ahead, Aztec 101. What's your take on the Broner situation? Go ahead.
Yeah, man. All right. So Broner, a little while back, I don't know if you guys ever watched Vlad TV. He had an interview. And I think it was this year. And I mean, in there, he laid out everything about his gambling addiction. And he even on screen bet Vlad, I think it was like $100 or $50. I think he was trying to bet 100 and it went down to $1. And they bet on a coin flip. And that was just, Adrian Broner trying to prove how, like, he's always betting, he's willing to bet. He's got a gambling problem. Like, that's his biggest issue. So I have a feeling maybe the reason why he didn't get paid from the Pacquiao fight could have been because of outstanding debt from all the advancements that Heyman was giving him. you know, if you're getting money from Heyman, he's gonna tally that up when the next time you fight, and he'll collect what you owe. So, I mean, it's not surprising that he's in this position right now. If he doesn't fix that gambling issue, all the money he has is gonna go. Every time he gets it, it's gonna leave. And you know what? Adrian Broner talks too much. He and this is kind of where I compared him to Wilder, where you put your own, you know, you put your foot in your mouth. He's not very convincing when he's trying to tell you something. So going to the judge and the way he explained that he didn't have any money was trash, man. Like he really didn't make a case for himself. He got himself locked up for the night. There's a saying in sales, and that's the most important thing in sales is knowing when to shut up. And Broner really needs to learn that, because I know he thinks in his head that he could sell water to a whale, but that sometimes, you know, that whale isn't going to be foolish enough to buy your water, so you got to be able to deal with that too. And he's selling wolf tickets to the fans, to whoever he owes debt to. It's going to get him in trouble. Right. The sad part is that he's one of the most talented fighters in boxing. Like, as far as just pure talent, you know, with subpar work ethic, he's able to become champion. Like, this guy, if he was on the right track, if he had the mentality of a disciplined fighter, if he was a little bit more like Gervonta Davis, he would have gone farther. But or even someone like Devin Haney, you know, just someone a little bit more disciplined. And you know, it could be the way he was raised. You know, it's a lot of times it's your environment that builds you. And if he's in an environment where, you know, not a lot of people live past 30, and there's a lot of violence and shit like that. Like, I'm sorry, there's a lot of violence. There's a good chance that maybe that's why he is who he is. As far as him hitting rock bottom, I hope he doesn't. Like, that's not something I wish on him. But the problem with that too is not a lot of people recover from hitting rock bottom. Most people stay there, and he doesn't seem like the type of person that can really change too much. He just needs to get it under control. Just long enough for him to be able to recoup some of the losses. His gambling has to get taken care of, and that's it. You know, that's my opinion.
Wow, that's something. Yeah, because I saw the interview on Glad TV about his gambling and getting to the fight with them. He thought the woman took his money. He thought the woman took his money in the casino, and he thought it was one of his friends who took his money. Yeah, he took his money, and then he went after her and he said, "Yo, where's my money?" She goes, "What do you mean, where's my money?" And then he put hands on her, and then his friend goes, "Nah, I got the money," and it was too late. Like, the woman complained, and that's what he really did. And obviously they went to court over it, and he's supposed to pay, and he ain't paid nothing to it, right? And he's in there telling the judge, "Well, boy, what's all this money I've seen you handing out? Well, I get it from my friends because I gave it back to them. They gave it back to me." But what he don't understand, I think he was inebriated. Another word is drunk, or taking some sort of substance, because I'm like, bro, you hear what you're saying out your mouth. You're saying you have money from your friends, so your friends could have paid the money, so you could have paid that woman off. And I'm sure it wasn't even that much, but that's because he was being so blatantly disregarding what was said. She said, "Nah, you're in contempt of court because you're just an idiot, bro. Like, you're just an idiot." You know what I mean? And I that's why she got him in contempt of court, because he don't think he even realized is that you was incriminating yourself right in front of there. And then my whole thing is, like, sometimes this is the thing, right? Don't you know when you got a good lawyer? This is why he ain't got a good lawyer. If you got a good lawyer in front of you, right? That's why sometimes you keep your mouth shut. You don't even talk. Like, you let these people talk for you. They go, "Look, I'm gonna talk for you. Just keep your mouth shut. Keep your chin down." Bro, like you said, bro, don't think he can go in and I'm talking to the judge. Don't let the judge realize that I'm okay. I'm fighting next week. The judge gonna understand. It's not, hold up, you're not Floyd Mayweather, bro. Floyd Mayweather can talk to the judge and tell him, I'm gonna try and get the Pacquiao fight and get his court date moved back. But you're not that, bro. Nothing as well. You messing with Floyd Mayweather. It's got them lot boxers, especially them guys who mess with him, got them in another world thing. That thinking they can maneuver and get away. It don't work. Let's talk about Tank. And Jalik gonna go on. We're gonna talk about Tank. And apparently, I don't know all the evidence, but there's apparently a car accident. And then apparently hit and run, try to do some John Jones thing, try to get out of the car and run and stuff like that. I don't know all the details. Jalik, what are you hearing about the Tank situation? And first and foremost, you think being around Floyd is a bad influence on Tank? Go ahead.
I mean, I don't like to get off tangent. You know how I like to talk. Like every person, even myself included, has positive qualities and negatives. So if a person was around me, even the negative qualities that I might do might rub off on them. So Tank is almost 26 years old. So he's a grown man now. So it's the reason why he keep getting in trouble like that. Every time he go back to Baltimore, he keep getting in trouble. So it's himself getting him in trouble. So I can't necessarily blame Floyd. So what is he in Baltimore for? To impress his friends for what? You got to grow outside of it. It's a mentality. Some people can't handle what's going on with them. But as far as the hit and run thing, I actually seen the headlines, but I actually didn't look into it. Now, a lot of that just be pressed. Did it really, really happen? Because, you know, nowadays people do negative things just to have their name in the press, just to spin things. So we don't even know. But he's another one that he has to grow up. He almost 30, bro. Like, what are you? No, I'm not saying if you're gonna go back there, like certain people you gotta outgrow them. Like a lot of people, their mentality isn't the same no more. They set you up. Jealousy is real, crabs in the barrel. He should know that already. So maybe he should. Well, I don't even know, where does the guy live? Atlanta, or I don't know. Maybe he should move out to Vegas or something like that. But it's himself. Maybe he got to develop some hobbies, man. EJ, hook him up with some hobbies, bro. Like fishing, or I don't know what they do in UK, fishing or cricket. Hook him up with some cricket. He might need some new hobbies. Watch Discovery Channel, get a dog, do something, because I mean, you 26, bro. It's your fault if you keep getting in trouble. Tank is a great fighter. He the best body puncher in boxing. Ain't nobody in boxing punch better to the body than him. I put a video out on there. He punching from long range, setting up all his shots, and he definitely has skills. Now the size factor plays into place, but he's a great fighter, bro. He's a good fighter, but his work ethic is gonna have to stay on point, because it's crazy that they said he done a hit and run, but then I also seen he was back in the gym. So which one is it? No, he's in Baltimore or in the gym, or he's in Vegas in the gym. So
hit and run, and you know, they put it down, or maybe they exaggerate. But in the case, like I said, they all rich. It ain't like if we was in a hit and run, we will, you know, that's some shit. They got lawyers and people to get them out of that. But what we're saying is that you're after one of your biggest fights, pay-per-view night of the year, you getting in trouble, like Errol Spence, car crash. I mean, what's going on?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, why are you getting in trouble? Like, who do you actually hang around and get in trouble? Like, why are you even attracting yourself to get in trouble? So it's himself that's getting himself in trouble. Like, what are you thinking about to even want to even do that? Like, I say if it was an accident, that was happened, but the hit and run, come on, man.
Yeah,
like, chill out, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey,
thanks, Jalik. Aztec 101. What's your take? Tank Davis.
Wait, on Broner or Tank?
Tank. Yeah.
I don't know too much about. I don't know too much about what's going on with Tank. I just kind of heard about it, but I was at work all day, and I know the news just broke. But yeah, honestly, I'm a little bit lost on what happened. So if you guys can tell me what happened with Tank, catch me up on that.
Nice one. Let's see if Michael pound boxing. He's always got the finger on the news. Unmute yourself, Mike. You got the take on what happened with Tank?
Well, and I think the initial question you asked was, is Broner being a bad influence on him? For me, this is on Tank Davis himself. You can be in the gym, working out and whatnot. It's particularly if you want to put up a front, like you getting your stuff together. You can do that publicly, but then behind the dark, while nobody's watching, still be out there wilding. It is what it is. He has impulse issues, just like when we talked about Broner, and just like when we talked about Wilder. That's just them. Again, not a good look for him. The boxing community is praising him for his fight against Leo Santa Cruz. Let's keep in mind this is also the same kid moving up in weight, missed the 35-pound limit on the scales when he fought Gamboa, and didn't look great in that fight. This is the same guy who's also had discipline issues in and outside of the ring. He's just a young kid. He's 26, but he
almost 30, bro. He's not a kid, bro.
Well, he's in his mid 20s. He's not almost 30. He's not almost 30 yet for someone who's of age. He's not almost 30 yet. There's a big difference between 25, 20.
He's not a kid though, bro. That's like
I'm not saying he is. What I'm saying is a big difference between someone who's 25, 26 and someone who's 30 and up. I know. I've lived it. I'm just saying I lived it. It's a big difference. But he has to check himself, to your point. He has to check himself. He's in a different position now coming out of that Santa Cruz fight. He wants to call himself the next pay-per-view star. He wants to put himself in position to possibly fight Teofimo. He wants to put himself in a position to be a cash cow in the sport. You can't be doing this stuff. You can't be doing this stuff outside of the ring. You have to be more consistent inside the ring. And let's keep in mind, fellas, this is the same dude who also last year was caught on tape in Miami. Was caught at All-Star Weekend last year, choking a woman to death.
Yeah.
You can't do this, Tank. You can't do this. Not now. Check yourself. Check yourself, kid. Check yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, that's we got my man, the fight doctor, ready to operate on the table right here.
What's popping?
Yeah, fight doctor.
Fight doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Fight doctor, do me a favor. Put the headphones on. The Bluetooth is echoing.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna switch up my headphones. Hold on a second. I'm gonna switch up my headphones.
All right, yeah. So fight doctor, let's do that. Aztec this jumped out. Because fight doctor, he gonna operate. He gonna do some operating. In the meantime, I just got another topic. What do you think of Teofimo Lopez calling Wilder a ish? And you see, I'm using the word ish, not what I'm saying, not the proper word. All right, so go ahead, Jilly. Go ahead.
I think he was saying that's an ish move. I don't think he saying directly it's an ish. You get what I'm saying? It's a difference. I can be like, yo, that was an ish move, or you're ish. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people saying that. That's actually, see, a lot of people gonna come out and try to defend it. It's like why Teofimo said that, but he has to answer to something. He need to realize that like people got opinions and he can't escape that. Like when you're the champion of the world, like that's what it is. And he one of my favorites, but I can't protect him. He has to be able to deal with stuff. Like I always say, if you try and get a six-pack, you got to develop resistance. So he gonna have to learn that people is gonna have their opinions and he can't get mad. He can't be a bully and nobody can't give their opinion. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how a lot of people were saying though. It made him look kind of crazy in a sense. But Tyson Fury, karma would catch up to him if he's cheated. He like to cheat. So karma would catch up to him. But like, yeah, it's kind of good that Teofimo actually said it. He need people to talk to him that it ain't lying to him, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I can't stand that yes man stuff. I don't like that, bro. He need people to tell him the truth like that, to be honest with you.
Wow. Denise, you hitting on pound for pound Michael. What's going on? What do you think, man?
Context here. How did he use that word? In what way? In terms of what regarding Wilder? Who he is or what did he say?
Let me find an article. He said that you're a grown, he said something in reference, you're a grown man. Why you talking about somebody beating your head? And he said, get yourself together and stop, acting like be something like that. He was on the AK and Barack show and said it. I haven't heard it, but that's what the quote was saying. Which in a way, a part of that is true.
Okay, see, if he used that word in terms of get your stuff together, stop being a that word in terms of how you're acting, okay, I could get it. I can get that. That to me, that's perfectly plausible. Because that's again context here. It's Wilder who put himself out there on Front Street for everybody. Mm-hmm. He left himself open to be criticized to this degree. Mm-hmm. So the fact that Teofimo responded, okay, you may have a problem with it. Okay, fine, fair enough. But look who put himself out there in a position to be criticized. Mm-hmm. Wilder could have just shut up. He could have shut up. Or if he was going to have this comments, put it in a way that doesn't leave you open to this kind of critique. That's on him.
Well, I can't even disagree. Unless Michael's got any more, the fight doctor's about to operate on the table. Fight doctor. Call him the fight doctor.
Yo, so is this better?
Yeah, that's cool.
Let me see.
Okay.
Nah, we still echoing. I think you need to put the headphones on.
Yeah, I'm wearing headphones. I don't know what the hell.
You on Bluetooth or something like that?
No. These are wired headphones, man. I don't know what the hell is.
Your mic, EJ. His mic is cool. Well, no, I do hear it.
It's echoing, like I don't know why it's echoing.
All right, you know what? Here, let me switch it up. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. It's fight doctor. He gonna operate. He gonna operate on the whole damn table. I'm telling you. He gonna do a good. Yeah, Go ahead. Fight doctor. You will say something?
Yeah. What about now? You still hear the echo?
Oh yeah, man. That's it. There you go. That's it. You want to use that all the time, by the way. Go ahead, fight doctor. Operate. We're ready.
All right. So look, listen. I didn't see the quote from Lopez. But I mean, listen, if he called him a bitch, then I'm inclined to agree. I mean, because to be completely honest,
by the way, YouTube ain't playing the F-bombs and the issues. So I say either say ish or F-bomb, or if you want to use the M word, say M word, but don't use the actual words because they're too sensitive. Go ahead, fight doctor.
I got you. Well, I'm inclined to agree with Teofimo. I mean, you got to look at everything that's been coming out of the Wilder camp lately. You blame the suit, you blamed your trainer. Your trainer saved your life, okay? And you accuse him of spiking your water. You blame everybody except the person who actually made you lose, which is the man in the mirror. So yeah, I mean, I must agree with Teofimo Lopez. Wilder is acting like an ish, and he sounded like an ish. And, I mean, this is just one loss. You can bounce back from this, but I mean, you got to have the constitution. You got to have the mentality to bounce back. And it seemed to me, that's just not part of Wilder's that's not part of his makeup. So,
What do you think about when Wilder admitted that he would have paid more money fighting the rematch versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I mean, that's probably true. But at the end of the day, there are politics. There are politics in boxing, and maybe the politics of boxing just did not allow that fight to happen at that particular time. I personally think that's just what the case was. I mean, that was arguably the biggest fight in boxing behind maybe behind Golovkin and Canelo. And, everyone wanted to see the fight. I wanted to see the fight. I thought that Wilder had an excellent shot at knocking out Joshua. But, listen, when did Mayweather-Pacquiao really become viable? That was 2009, when that fight was actually viable. And you would have had, if Mayweather-Pacquiao happened in 2009, you would have had something which happens all too rare in boxing, which is the two best guys in the sport in or around the same weight class and actually fight at their absolute best. How many times in the history of the sport has that actually happened? Okay, I can't think of too many times, but it didn't happen. Why? Politics, okay? Politics. So, when these things, listen, the politics of the sport have robbed us of a lot of fights over the years. So, it is what it is. I don't necessarily blame Wilder for that fight not happening. I don't necessarily blame Joshua for that fight not happening, even though I think maybe if anyone is to be blamed, I think maybe the Joshua side of the equation would share a little bit more blame than anyone else. But politics of boxing, they are what they, it is what it is.
Okay, all right. Well, what do you think about Wilder saying Breland poisoned his water and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean that's okay. So that's Teofimo Lopez, basically. Okay, that's what that is. That's an excuse. Okay, dude, listen. This is no way that his water was spiked and it didn't. You have to take a test. You have to take a drug test post-fight. Okay, so if there was something, look, if you ingested anything immediately before or during the fight, it would have showed up in the post-fight drug test. Okay, so we would have known about this. I haven't heard anything about anything being found in his post-fight drug test. Have you?
No. Well, I just saw Ricky Hatton on Michelle Joy Phelps saying Wilder's tainting his career. And the thing is, he accused Ricky Hatton in that clip of pulling down his glove. And now I was thinking, boy, you know what? That's another guy who could sue him. There's a long list of guys, yeah. If they really wanted to come at Wilder, Wilder's got a lot of money to pay. Now, he's lucky some of the guys he's going at are in the UK. Because I tell you what, if they was in America, they'd be suing your ass. Oh, sorry, don't use the word. They'd be suing your bottom or whatever. I use the word there. Yeah. So, Wilder's lucky that in that regards and that. My man Unbiased has just jumped in. And let me give him some burn. What's up, Unbiased?
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
You guys are chopping it up about Deontay Wilder and his situation. Right. And, for me, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. So for me, I feel like Deontay Wilder is acting like Teofimo Lopez said. And for me, it's just like, there's too many excuses. When he lost, it was, the suit was too heavy. It took my legs, the entrance walk. Then it was, I got drugged. They roofied me. Then, there's metal in his gloves. He was with the crunk gym. There's just excuse after excuse. And then having that mentality, right? And he's talking about a trilogy. All of these excuses you laid out, you have yet to blame yourself, or you're basically telling me that you're not ready for a trilogy because you haven't looked at the fight itself, because you got outboxed and you got beat up. That's what happened. That's what we all saw. So if you don't see that and you're blaming everything outside the ring, then you're not ready for a trilogy. You know what I mean? So I don't know why he's talking about a trilogy. I think he needs a sports therapist. That's just my opinion. So yeah.
I eat a sports psychologist, bro. Like,
all right. So listen, we're gonna bump because Michael and Jaleel.
Here's my question though. Excuse me for interrupting. We see Wilder saying these comments. The only other time I've seen him was somewhere basically twerking, right? When have we seen him video him in the gym? That's my question.
I don't know, bro. Yeah,
because that's where it all starts, in the gym, putting in the work. That speaks sadly to his mindset. Until he gets that right, that's all I got to say. Until he gets that right and gets his butt back in the gym.
What also pisses me off a little bit is kind of like Mark Breland's career after this.
Yeah,
you kind of ruined this guy's career. I mean, no fighter now, they're gonna it's kind of side eye him a little bit when he's giving them water. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's the case at all. I have to disagree.
Fighter gonna be thirsty, be like, bro.
No offense, but I disagree with that.
No,
because
go ahead, Mike.
The reason I say that is because if Teofimo had these kind of comments about him, it wouldn't be far-reaching to say there are other fighters out there looking at Wilder like, okay, exactly. Yeah.
No, but
what he said about Breland, I don't think that will affect too many fighters. That of those who with sense, that of those who clear-headed and rational.
Well, no, I hear you, but those fighters aren't going to be working with, like, Teofimo's not actually working with Breland. He's just somebody's looking out from the outside. He's not working with them. You know what I mean? This
is the same Breland who has a long, extensive history in the sport.
Yes,
folks know dude. No, they didn't know what he's about.
All right, we're not going to get a conclusion on that, but I have to agree with both of you right? He's tarnishing his reputation, and most people in the sport would agree, like what Michael said, that they would think that that Breland's respectable enough. His career carry in any case, right? We need some clarification on that stuff, though. If you got evidence, show us. If you ain't put up, then Breland should sue defamation of character, and that should be straightened up. Because I agree with unbiased, even if we don't want to. I definitely agree with unbiased that this could. And remember, he didn't use the word is. He said could affect his next client in terms of like Wilder says something about the drink and that, and then he has to keep saying, well, I think he's lying. Well, I don't know. It could be the case. I'm not saying it will, but these are when these things are put out there. You have to think to yourself, like, well, we need to clear this stuff up now because I can't have you saying that stuff about me. So it needs to be cleared up regardless. Another thing as well with Wilder in the first fight with Fury, if he listened to Breland, he would have stopped Fury. But Wilder, straight after the fight, said, well, we had a great glam plan, but you know me, as soon as the fight started, I didn't listen, man. I got carried away in the crowd, and there you go. And that's where he is. He don't listen. He do his own thing, and that's what he's doing right now. Now, what I was going to say to Unbiased and Fight Doctor why they're here, because everyone was burned on it, I want to hear their take on what we're here for. Canelo Alvarez leaving Golden Boy and of the zone. So I want to hear Unbiased, and I want to hear the Fight Doctor, and then we're going to call it a day and the rest of the guy. Go ahead, Unbiased. You go first. Go ahead.
Well, man, I think it's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? He finally left Oscar De La Hoya. He left Fishnets. And listen, there are a lot of good fights on wherever he decides to go. I think he should actually remain a free agent. I don't think he should sign with PBC. He should do what Mikey and Dillian White are doing, kind of fight by fight basis, because he could fight Caleb Plant, Charlo, Benavidez, and then turn around. And I guess if he wants to fight Andrade, I mean, Andrade really hasn't done anything, you know what I'm saying? But if he wants to, he can fight him. And there's also, whatchamacallit, Better Beef. There's tons of fights there for him, you know what I mean, out there for him to fight. The sky's the limit. I think leaving Oscar, that was the best decision. That guy was just milking him. Let's be real. He took the icing off the cake when he signed to DAZN, made promises that he was going to fight Triple G. He could have been undisputed if, Oscar would have got that deal done with Derevyanchenko, but he kind of, messed that up. And then he had plans of fighting Andrade right after that, but Oscar screwed that up for him. And he basically, let's be real, was just trying to make as much money off this guy's back. So I think that leaving him was probably the best idea for his career. He probably should have done it, 2 years ago, but he's doing it now. So congrats to him. Being a free agent is going to be, probably the best thing he could have done in his career, in my opinion.
Who would you want him to fight straight off the bat? Who would you like him to fight? I'd say from super middle to light heavy. I'd say him, but I'm not really gonna say middleweight because he ain't been there for a bit, man. But
yeah, I mean, I think Caleb Plant's that's a cool fight. I'm not too mad at it. Caleb Plant and then Benavidez, and I guess if Charlo's moving up, fight Charlo. Andrade's at. I guess Andrade's at super middleweight now too. He's fighting what is it, Damian Billard? Or they're looking at what's his name?
That dude that works for Facebook.
Damian Billard. So if he's fighting Damian Billard, then I guess you could fight Andrade. He's there too. So the options at super middleweight are limitless. So it's a good division.
Better BF though, bro. I mean, he's been a pro for 15 years. His career will be done, bro. Don't even think that. Don't get that.
Hey, you know what,
bro? Trust me, I want to do that, bro.
That's what makes a fight great. If he took that fight,
bro, I would expect it, but that's dangerous, bro. His career will be done. You see what he done with boxing?
Well, Callum Smith knocked him down. Callum Smith
he made Rocky retire, bro.
But you know what, Jalik, you know what? Canelo is the type of fighter, right? I don't think he's scared of any smoke. Like, he's not.
Nah, I agree.
You gotta be scared, but you can still get hurt.
Hey, we're gonna go backwards and forwards on that. Let's get the Fight Doctor to operate on the table. Fight Doctor, go ahead.
Yo, you guys still hearing echo? Or we good?
Nah, you good.
You good. Go ahead.
So look, I saw this coming. When I first caught wind of the lawsuit, I figured there's no way that Golden Boy Promotions isn't somehow in breach of contract with at least one of the two parties, either the Dazn and or Canelo Alvarez. Well, we know that he was in breach of contract with, they are in breach of contract with Canelo Alvarez because that's how Canelo Alvarez gets to be a free agent. I suspect they're also in breach of contract with Dazn. And I can't wait to see. I've got my bag of popcorn, and I can't wait to see like what's all the fallout going to be from what's happened over the last couple of days. Like, where does this leave Golovkin? Okay, because I want to say that there's that the contract that Golden Boy had with Dazn, there's some language that says something about Alvarez has to fight Golovkin, and Golovkin has a contract with Dazn saying something to the same effect. I'm just curious to see once the smoke clears, what is that landscape, the whole Dazn, Golden Boy, Golovkin, what is all that going to look like?
Hey, fight doctor.
That's a good question, bro.
Fight doctor. Oscar De La Hoya is gonna fight Triple G, bro.
Look, I was just sitting here thinking that Alvarez should fight the Golden Girl, but actually I think that actually might happen.
Now they said
completely honest with you.
They said he's looking at Medina. I'll just say now in boxing scene, Oscar versus Medina, but maybe he'll fight Triple G.
Listen, I tell you what, that might be the only way he could save his company.
Yeah, that's true, bro.
Hey, all right, we could open up on the floor. Is Oscar company in debt or anything like that? You just put out that Dazn and Golden Boy are renegotiating their contract. That doesn't sound too good.
Yeah. Renegotiating. I'm looking at Chris Mannix on Twitter. They renegotiating. It's their value isn't there. They might just better off just dropping Dazn USA and just focus on overseas because check this out. Overseas, they can get fights on PBC. It's different, but the US market is a little different. I mean, they can try, but because when Tank fight Ryan Garcia, that's going to be on Fox pay-per-view or Showtime pay-per-view.
You know what? We know what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to use Ryan now. They're going to try to use Ryan, but Oscar is going to come back. He is going to fight Medina, and they're probably going to try to make him fight Triple G.
Yeah, but nobody want to see that. Oscar's has been, bro. Gotta let you guys.
He still might be happening. Oscar still draws, man.
No, not now, though, bro. Nah, trust me.
Wait, let me hear what Mike said. Mike on the fight, though. So what do you think? Oscar still a draw?
Well, I mean, so you have to look at it from this perspective, right? Who else does Golden Boy have?
That's it. They got Texera, Virgil, Jaime Munguia, Ryan Garcia, Rashidi Ellis.
I mean, think about it. Who else does Golden Boy have? De La Hoya, at the very minimum, has a name. I mean, once you get beyond Ryan Garcia, who do you have?
Texera.
He might lose to the people.
What's that Takika Bobby? Was that Takika Bobby? Whatever his name is? Oh, is he with Dazn? With Takika Bobby, the blonde head.
So are y'all saying that Golden Boy is like Gary Shaw Promotions and Lou DiBella? Is that what y'all saying?
I think when the smoke clears, Golden Boy Promotions will be even worse. I mean, what I know is this. What I suspect is that they are in some type of breach of contract with Dazn for some millions and millions of dollars that they don't have. And
they got Virgil.
Virgil, yeah, but you also got to look at it like they don't know. I think they could imagine if Ryan Garcia was with even Bob Arum, or imagine if Ryan Garcia was with even Floyd, somebody that can really promote it. Because Ryan Garcia, believe it or not, I believe he's doing that on his own. They just putting in a couple fights, but he's doing all his promotion on his own. So if he actually has somebody that will back him, because remember, they didn't even back him. They literally said he was ducking Duno, Oscar, and then he knocked him out. So it's like your own team is against you. So they don't even, man, Oscar, man, he might be like Lou DiBella, bro.
He's leaving soon, though. I feel like Ryan is definitely leaving soon. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can see that. I can see that happen in 2021 because once again, I think it's deeper than that. But they didn't want a lot of the real deal come out, so they done some non-disclosure agreements and just came through a settlement. And Al Heyman probably is like, okay, let's get Ryan, put that on there. That'd make sense. But Ryan Garcia should just bank on himself and just continue to improve his team, but be a free agent as well. You always want to have the leverage. It's like a why sign a 2-year contract with cell phones, and you can just be like prepaid and then sign with whoever. So when you got the leverage, then you always gonna make more money. But at the same time, you want to make sure you pick the right opportunities and not lose out on like a big contract similar to like Wilder and the Zone. So, but yeah, Golden Boy is like Lou DiBella right now.
Mike, you want to say anything? Pound for pound. Mike, you want to say anything?
Sadly, Oscar's going to fight again, and to save the company, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws himself up against. I can't remember who said was Triple G and whatnot, because as we saw with the loss, as the details were disclosed in the lawsuit they tried to file against Heyman a while back, how much the company depended on Canelo from a financial standpoint. It was to the point that now he's leaving. He has to do something to save the company. He has to do something to save the brand. I mean, Garcia, he's there, and they can make some money off of him for a while, but I think he's going to leave in 2 years. If he wins the world title, makes a little bit of money here and there, particularly if he gets a big fight and say beats a Haney. If he say gets in the ring with a Teofimo and somehow happens to beat him and he becomes a star himself, he wouldn't need Golden Boy. He wouldn't need him. So why stay?
Golden Boy don't really know how to promote like that. It's a new game in town. That's why you got to know how to promote yourself. Like guys like Shakur Stevens, I mean, not to get off, but guys got to know how to promote themselves, bro.
I'm gonna be honest, and Ryan's looking at the landscape of everything. He's looking at Canelo's dealings. Also, he had issues himself with Oscar, so he's like, you know what, man, I don't need this. I'm promoting myself. He has his own YouTube channel.
Months ago, exactly.
So I'm just saying he's doing all his self promotion. He has side gigs, and he does everything himself pretty much.
And
so
let's face it, Garcia is a little bit full of himself as well. We're really going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest here. He hasn't won a world title, but yet he thinks that he should be paid top dollar like he is an established A-side fighter.
What's wrong with
That's so good. He already thinks. No, I'm not saying it wasn't.
Good.
My point is he thinks highly of himself, and because of that, even if he hasn't earned it in the traditional way, and because of that, he's going to be gone sooner or later from Golden Boy. So put that all into the equation. Golden Boy, Oscar has to do something to save the company. He has to, and if that means fight, so be it.
I think it might be done. I think Virgil is going to leave, but I just think it's just going to go out for business. Oscar got to deal with his addictions and stuff. It's deeper, it's deeper than that. And poor Virgil Ortiz, hopefully he make the right decision. I think a lot of his influence come from his father. And once again, we don't know how much these guys got in debt. So they make decisions all fast because Virgil Ortiz can definitely be a star. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty quiet. And I know he mentioned that he don't like to talk in the public, but he can work on that because he got a fighting style that's
I don't even know who that is, man. I'm over in the UK. I don't even know who that is. I know Ryan Garcia. I don't really pay. I mean, it's the same with this guy, Bichelle. The law. Hey, Mike, you know what? Hey, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know about him as well. Like, since Michael's here, and Michael's been let me say long, actually from the start, he even told me about him. Anaya Inoue, number 2 pound for pound over Bud Crawford and some of the others. Mike, what's your take on him being number 2? I know you've been a long thing. I personally disagree with it, but it being that high up. But in the day, like he's there now. He's set to be number 1. And is it going to be the same thing as Chocolito? You're going to force a guy. Really, he's a great fighter too early into the pound ranking, and put him into a position maybe he can't achieve. What's your take on Anaya Inoue, number 2 pound for pound?
Inoue has a longer shelf life at this stage of his career than Chocolatito did when they put him up at #1 pound for pound. Because he's younger, because he's naturally bigger in my opinion and stronger. And he does damage at this weight, unlike Chocolatito. By the time he really got to flyweight in 115, he's not doing the damage at the higher weight that he did at the lower weight. Plus, he didn't have the wear and tear that Chocolatito did at that time. If it's a question of what have you done for me lately, what has Bud done lately?
Agreed.
And I'm sorry, the upcoming fight against Kell Brook, that's not going to do it with a lot of people. It's not.
I agree.
And also in the way,
not when you have better, not when you have an Ugas out there. Hell, go look, man. Heyman could PBC. They could sell him. They could sell Ugas a fight with. They could have Ugas go across the street and fight him and fight Crawford easy for cheap.
But they're not going
to do it
because it's about control.
Let me ask you. So you saying Kell Brook, right? So you're saying Kell Brook. When you say Kell Brook, in my opinion, is better than anyone anyways ever faced on his resume. Who's better than Kell Brook?
Donaire?
Better than Kell Brook? Like who's Donaire beat? The saying. Who's Donaire beat?
And what has Kell? Outside of Porter, who has Brook beat?
Well, why
Carson Jones.
Why do we have to go? Why do we have to go outside? Why do we have to go outside? He's fought Errol Spence. He's fought Golovkin, right?
He's a boogeyman debunker, bro. He fight all boogeymen. Porter.
Oh my god.
He fought both of those guys, and both of them broke his face. EJ.
Yeah,
both of them broke his face.
All right, so listen to this, right? Yeah, exactly. Hold up. But they're competitive fights. He challenged himself. He's undefeated record. Went with Golovkin. Went back down.
You gotta stop.
One of the best guys.
And when he fought Donaire, when Inoue fought Donaire, he had the same injury and he survived. And he fought through it and won.
Who is Inoue beat to say who is he beat?
Face crack, dude. That's crazy.
No, wait. Who's Inoue beat to say he's got anyone he beat is better than Kell Brook on his resume? Who's he beat? Because Donaire was down. Donaire was done, right? He was done. If that's what you're gonna say is Donaire, in my opinion, Terrence Bud Crawford, even at 140, clean at 140, beat Jeff Horn, who beat Manny Pacquiao, is still slightly better. And it's still, and then the way he did it is better than what Inoue's been doing. He had life. He had life and death with Donaire. Don't tell me he didn't. Like that guy was dead at the way he had life.
I had a Donaire up after 9 rounds. Listen,
it should have been competitive, bro.
Look at the fight, bro. Listen, Monster.
You had Donaire up, bro. Donaire literally he won like 3 rounds that whole fight, bro. Come on, man.
That was a 7-5, 8-4 fight. To be fair,
close, bro. After 9.
All right, you could have gave him 4 or 5 rounds, but really,
fight. Come on, man. That's not good. What about defense? Defense is only a criteria. Listen.
You gotta understand, Donaire is a naturally bigger guy who shrunk himself down to that division.
There you go.
Is that not the truth, though? Did Donaire not shrink himself down to that division to fight Inoue? Isn't that not the truth?
If he had defense, Mikey Garcia face didn't look like that.
And no offense, Donaire did not just beat but knock out the same Darchinian who's more accomplished than Kell Brook. If we're gonna go there,
Monster.
That is true. That is true.
Monster. I like Monster.
Didn't Monster knock out Omar?
He knocked out the same on Omar Narvaez in 2.
Yeah,
he knocked him out in 2. The same Narvaez who always went the distance with folks, including went the distance with Donaire.
Monster. Donaire, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Monster. I'm just saying, if we're gonna make comparison. Put Vic Darchinian's resume up there with Kell Brook. Who has a better resume? I'll wait.
Vic Darchinian. That's I like Vic Darchinian. See, Monster is in a situation where he don't have the opponents to really put him over the edge because he got everything that Pacquiao has. He actually had more skills than Pacquiao. And when Pacquiao was at 126,
we have to.
I'm saying this.
He never faced Darchinian.
Let me be clear, and I preface this by saying I'm one of the few who still has Bud Crawford #1 pound for pound. However, he has to do something.
I agree.
Coming
I
forward.
don't have him.
I agree.
I mean, the Kell Brooks in the fight that he had before that's just not going to suffice when there are other fighters out there that he could get in the ring with at 147 pounds. I'm just saying.
I can't.
So
I'm sorry.
wait, so
Bud
guys,
Crawford is
so
fine. I like Bud, but bro, come on, man. Mean Machine, and then Amir Khan, Jeff Horn. I understand Jeff Horn. I don't give him slack for that. But Amir Khan, Mean Machine, he's good, but bro, come on, man. Like he did get a draw with Ray Robinson, arguably lost the fight. If we're being real with ourselves, like let's be honest. So, nah, bro.
But I agree with you on that. I'm getting tired of it too. I don't want to see no dominant. I would rather.
And now he's fighting Kell Brook, you know.
Yeah,
so
fight Ellis, bro, or somebody.
Well, so that but see, that's the politics of boxing, and you know, Bob Arum, who has denied boxing history many great fights. Okay, Bob Arum, and the sooner that he rides off to the sunset, the sooner boxing will be much better off.
Did you see what Jason Sosa just put on Twitter? He said they took 60% of his purse. 60.
Top Rank?
I think he was referring to whoever was promoter. I don't know if it was Bob Arum or whatever.
I believe it.
That's crazy. Bro.
Yeah, and again, I believe it's top. I believe it is Top Rank that is denying Bud these fights. Because yeah, you know, Thurman might have said, "Hey, I want 10 mil," but the fighter is always going to shoot high. It's the promoter's job to bring that number down.
You know what? Coming down to it in the day, like in a way, is a great fighter, and I'm glad that everyone's getting to recognize him. I think Dougie Fisher and some of them guys at the Ring Magazine, and obviously they were Golden Boy. If Golden Boy was to go away, that means the control of the Golden of the Ring Magazine will go back into the sport, right? And maybe the Ring Magazine will be more fairer and will represent the sport of what it is. I agree, in a way, to be in the top 5 pound for pound fighting. He's a great fighter. I'm just saying number 2 for me is a bit too high. Now, people talk about Bud Crawford, but like I said to you, when it comes down to it, is that a lot anyways fight. If you're going to talk about Donaire and that whole thing, he needs to have more meat on the bun. Now, let's talk about Yoel Casamayora. Let's talk about Chocolito himself. Let's talk Juan Frisco Estrada. Let's talk about Cesar Kit. Them names there, beautiful fights for him. I know
he knocks them out.
Yeah. Well, we have to see the fights, right? But them guys there, he missed the division on them names. I would love them fights to happen if them guys could move up or anything could happen. And obviously a super fight, in my opinion, against Rigo. I don't know if Rigo comes up to that bantamweight. If he can't, whatever. But what I'm saying, he went up to fight what's his name, Lomo, so he can do that. But what I'm saying is that I just need more meat on the bun to establish him on his represent. I'm glad he's in the pound for pound. It's just a good argument backwards and forwards that he's there. Open up on the floor and all you guys there. I'm sure there's some other topics in boxing that we're missing. Any other topics that we can cover?
I wanted to ask you something, EJ. Where do you have Usyk because of his last 2 performances with Weatherspoon and then Chisora?
In the heavyweight division, that guy. I don't rate Usyk. I don't rate Usyk. I just don't rate him. He's
not in the top 10.
He's in pound for pound of boxing. I don't think he's ranked pound for pound in the world of boxing. I know he's ranked very highly and he's very skillful for what he did in the amateurs. And I don't the World Boxing Super Series. This is just my opinion. It doesn't have to be everyone else's. I don't rate that World Boxing Super Series because Dorcas and all them other guys. I don't rate none of them guys there. I don't rate any of them guys there. They had to fight each other to make something. But to me, there were a bunch of no ones to make someone. And to me, it was already laid out that guy was going to win the thing. It was laid out for him to win the thing. So everyone know who he is. Okay, we know who you are now. Now you're in heavyweight division. Show me something. He ain't doing that. But I've been saying that if he was to fight Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, he'll give them a bit of trouble. But I doubt he wins the fight. He might have a talking point, but going life or death with Derek Chisora. I mean, if he really wants to prove himself, Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, Dillian White.
Let me ask you this. Like, if a guy is like 40 pounds lighter than the guys, right? And he don't got one punch power, it's always every fight gonna be kind of tough in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I give him credit though. I think I think he definitely in a pound for pound. I got, he might be a little higher than Monster, my pound for pound. I say Monster about 8th, but Monster ain't better than Josh Taylor. He ain't better than Crawford, and he ain't better than Better BF. I'll tell you that from the door. And he ain't better than Boo Boo, and he ain't better than probably say Usyk. So
Wait. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Wait. Monster gonna get hurt. Monster, luckily he in that division, bro. And I like Monster. He's one of my favorites to watch, but I can't cap for him, bro.
He's not better than Beterbiev.
Fuck no. Dude, ain't who gonna beat Better BF? Like, name a fighter. Like, he may do retire, bro. He's not joking. He doesn't play games with you. He don't shake your hands. He really comes out there. Remember how they try to hype Triple G up? He's the real Triple G. That's how who they should hype up. But for some reason they don't hype him up. He should
Didn't the same dude get knocked down a few fights back?
Khabib, yes, he did. Yes.
Showing weakness.
Wait. So wait.
It's all boxing, bro.
175 isn't the deepest division in boxing, and Better BF's resume is not exactly stellar.
Better BF.
He got one good win. He got literally one good win, bro.
He gonna fight Bivol. Probably make a move down to 168. Trust me, ain't nobody beating Better BF, bro. He's a bone crusher.
But there's nobody there. I mean, who's at 68, 75 really? Who do you have there?
Benavidez can't beat him. Caleb Plant can't beat him. Canelo can't beat him. Ain't nobody can beat him from 175.
Alvarez can't beat him. Alvarez is a 54 pounder. What are you talking about?
Nobody can beat the guy, but he win a belt at 175.
Okay, listen, wait. Look,
right? Ain't nobody beating Better beat 175 down. Nobody. I'm telling you, bro.
Listen, if you win first place at the Special Olympics, guess what?
Damn.
Fight doctor. Ain't nobody beating Better BF, bro. He's not.
And honestly,
okay, but there's nobody at 175 to beat him. Because
no, and you know what? Hold on, wait. Hold on. And the fight doctor, and to be real with you, and listen, Jalik, I'm picking Bivol. I got Bivol beating him. And
I was going to say Bivol can give the dude a heck of a fight now. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah, I got Bivol in that. I'm just saying.
For him, he'll crush him, bro. He'll make a move to 160.
I mean, I did see him get dropped by what was that UK fighter's name? EJ, you know. What's his name?
Callum Johnson, I think his name was.
Yeah, Callum Johnson. There you go. Callum something, yeah.
Talk about that. Y'all talk about him getting dropped, but y'all always be capping for Tommy Hearns, and he got a weak ass chin, but y'all say,
oh my god, bro.
Y'all gotta make it make sense. Like, come
Tommy Hearns is miles better than Beterbiev and miles more accomplished. Stop it.
If Thomas Hearns fought Better BF, he'd get his body straight broken, bro. He will destroy him, bro. That's not even close, bro. Trust me. He'll hurt.
Wait. Stop. Hold on. Wait. Stop. First of all, you gotta understand something, right? Thomas the Hitman Hearns is literally 100 times the fighter Archer Better BF could ever hope or dream to be.
Crazy. No, he's not, bro. Wait,
but this guy has one win over a halfway decent guy.
He ever crushed him.
And the guy he beat, right? The guy he beat a guy who was already 40-something years old and probably already had
exactly
on the brain before he even got it came to the fight.
It's unquestionable his resume.
If Better
BF has beaten nobody.
Bro, if Better BF for her,
Vosick was fighting scary versus Adonis. Like, he was fighting terrified until he actually won.
Download it. Listen, Thomas Hearns.
I'm just saying, like, let's be real. You're talking about Thomas Hitman Hearns.
Out of his whole career.
Respect the elders, man.
Listen, Hearns will beat the shit out of Better BF, bro.
Listen, I would take Thomas Hearns' resume at 175 over Better BF's resume at 175 any day of the week.
Huh?
That's easy.
Thomas Hearns' resume at 175 over Better BF's resume at 175.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, once an all-time great, all I gotta say is once an all-time great, and Better Beef is
okay.
He's okay.
Who did Thomas Hearns beat, bro? He beat lightweight Duran. Who else he beat?
Wait, so Thomas Hearns has a win over Virgil Hill.
A lot of people.
So Thomas Hearns has a win over Virgil Hill at 175 pounds, dude. Do you know who Virgil Hill is?
Virgil Hill got knocked out with a body shot, and Better Biev is the second best body puncher.
Wait.
He got knocked out by a body shot by Prime Roy Jones. Now, be clear here.
Wait, stop.
It was against the Prime Roy Jones.
Wait, dude. Virgil Hill got knocked out by a guy who's arguably the best fighter in history. So what are you talking about?
That's what I'm trying to say. If he got it, okay. If Roy Jones knocked him out to the body, he'll crush him. Virgil Hill, man, come on, bro. Virgil Hill.
Yeah. Listen, dude, but do you even know who Virgil Hill is,
bro?
Virgil Hill's resume. This is
in love with his
dude. Virgil Hill's resume urinates and defecates all over Better Biev's resume. That's real talk.
Well, see, that's why I say in order for you to have
Jaleel,
I don't even rate Virgil Hill that high. I don't think he's top 5, top 10 light heavyweight of all time. But I respect his accomplishments, though. He was a good fighter.
Jaleel, are you trying to insinuate that Better Biev is ranked similar to Roy Jones?
No, I said I was just basing on the style. I said Better Biev.
Yeah, but Better Biev's style is nothing like Roy.
Better Biev has a shot. Let's get this right. Roy don't.
Wait, so you're saying Better Biev is as good as a body puncher as Roy?
Listen, what? Did you see? You never seen him fight, bro. You like Teddy Atlas. You just think he got it right.
Wait. First of all, wait. This dude has done nothing beyond knock over 17 tomato cans, and all of a sudden he's as good a fighter as Roy Jones Jr.
No, he's not.
My man. Whatever it is you're smoking, stop being so stingy.
Listen.
Yeah.
So what you gonna say when he knock out Beaver, make a move down the 160? You're not gonna give him credit. You're gonna say Biv.
I like Bivol.
Listen,
I like Bivol, but we talking about Roy Jones.
We
talking about Hitman Hearns.
I would give Bird to be a credit, but don't tell me he's more accomplished and he's a better fighter than Inoue. Not at this point. Not at this point on pound for pound.
He got a real great chance of beating Roy Jones.
No, but you initially, but the initial comment was. But the initial comment was. You said. But the initial comment was. You said that Bird. You said that Inoue, you put Beterbiev over Inoue pound for pound. That was the initial statement, though.
Jaleel, did you just say? You just said Beterbiev could go. Did you just say that?
Yes, he has a chance to win, bro.
No, sir. Beterbiev does not win a single round against Roy Jones Jr. What are you talking about? He doesn't win a single round. In fact, I would bet he didn't even go to distance.
Listen,
he would go to distance because at 75, Roy wasn't the aggressive fighter that he was at 60 and 68. But Roy would beat him. No doubt.
And he fight mean. So once he get past that speed and he get on the inside and rough Roy up, Roy don't like it like that. He can't take it, bro.
All right, so wait. So how many heavyweight titles? How many heavyweight titles has Beterbiev won?
Huh?
How many heavyweight titles has Beterbiev won?
First of all, he was in Olympics twice at heavyweight. He almost knocked out Usyk, who won gold. So if you want to talk about the Olympics, I mean, come on, bro.
So, but my question remains: how many heavyweight titles has Beterbiev won?
Listen, do you think is John Ruiz better than Beterbiev? Yes or no?
John Ruiz has a win over Evander Holyfield. Yes, who in the hell has Beterbiev ever beaten?
Down count.
Real talk.
Like Roy Jones, but when the goings gets tough, he can't take it. He can't take it. As soon as
how many heavyweight titles has Beterbiev won?
As soon as you hit him back and you take away his confidence, he don't all his confidence.
Dude. Roy Jones Jr. has the win.
He wasn't nothing. He was only good when everything was winning. When somebody hit his ass back, he folded.
My friend.
That's facts.
My friend. Roy Jones Jr. has the W over a prime James Toney. That right there should end the conversation that you're talking. Because what you're talking right now don't make no sense whatsoever. Because there's nothing. Listen, my friend. Listen. There's nothing Beterbiev could ever do in his career to equal or even come close to that one win on Jones's resume. And guess what? Jones has other wins. Something similar to
I will argue that a 68 pounds James Toney would beat Beterbiev at 75.
I'm not sure about that because
easily.
The James Toney the James Toney that spanked Iran Barkley. The James Toney that spanked Iran Barkley. The James Toney that took apart Tim Little's. Beterbiev ain't beating that guy. No way.
That'll be a shootout. But see,
because the one thing you talk about Berterbiev's power. The one guy who he ain't hurting. The one guy he ain't hurting at 68 or 75. James Toney with that iron chin.
I agree, but if he go to
James Toney, you talk about inside fighter. You talk about inside fighter.
I agree.
Beterbiev is not close to the inside fighter that James Toney was.
That's a different story.
And he boxed the mess out of him on the outside too. Toney all day.
But Toney at 175 that was losing to Montel Griffin is a little different story because he was a little inconsistent. But that's a good thing. I like James Toney.
Not inconsistent. He was lazy. Focus James Toney. Beterbiev ain't beat.
Y'all talk about people that got James Toney. James Toney, you act like Roy ain't get dropped by Lou Delval, like the trainer guy. So I mean, come on, bro. Roy Jones is beatable, bro. I mean, at his prime, he was winning off athleticism. And
listen, Roy Jones is beatable, sure, but not by the likes of Artur Beterbiev. I can assure you that. I'm sorry, but no, that's not even. Look, dude, that's not even a fight. That's not even a contest. It's not. It's not a contest.
Exactly.
You better go watch the tape, bro. He don't play games.
Dude, listen, dude. Wait, hold on.
If Caleb Johnson could hurt,
I was there, dude. I was there
so could Roy Jones.
Dude, I was there to see Roy Jones in his prime.
He went in off athleticism. Somebody crowd this space and go to his body. What is he gonna do? And he got power in both hands. And he not trying to be Roy Jones' friend and shake his hand. He's not in awe of him. Kind of like Teofimo and Lomachenko, bro. That's a closer fight, bro.
Okay, but you still haven't answered the question. How many titles at heavyweight has Beterbiev won?
He hasn't. Though. That doesn't mean nothing.
So before you can even put this guy in Roy Jones's class, he needs to have produced something similar to what Roy has done, which to this point he hasn't.
That's one fight. You act like he was like multiple times winning. He fought one fight. That's like saying,
wait. How many world titles, How many world titles has Roy Jones won?
Come on, man. Roy Jones is nice, but I'm just saying the head-to-head matchup.
But how many titles? Well, you're the one who's making the comparison here, so I'm just asking the question. If we're going to compare the two, then let's compare. How many titles has Roy Jones won throughout his career?
If he would have compared him to like a legit great light heavyweight, like a Spinks or Foster, okay, I could get the argument. Not this guy. No.
If you keep sleeping on Beterbiev if you want to.
I'm not sleeping on him, but I'm just saying that he wouldn't beat no 75 Roy Jones that was close to his prime. That's what I'm saying.
What's gonna happen when homeboy crowd the space and go to Roy Jones' body? Because
what makes you think he's going to be able to what makes you think he's going to be able to quote unquote crowd him?
If you look at boxing, his ring journal, he fights his fight. He fights his fight. He's a smart.
Wait. Hold on.
Fights his fight.
He fights his fight. Having knocked over a 17 tomato can. Okay.
He has.
Listen, this guy Beterbiev. You know what he is? He is the 175-pound reincarnation of the triple duck. That's exactly what he is. Because this guy has beaten.
No.
He is the 175-pound reincarnation of the triple duck. This guy, I've never seen a guy outside of the triple duck get so much mileage out of having done so little in his career. This guy literally has one name on his career against a nobody. I can't even remember the guy's name. And all of a sudden, we're talking about this guy in the same sentence as a Roy Jones Jr. and a Thomas Hitman
Roy, too much footwork. He would turn him all night long. Too much hand speed. And he has just enough power to keep him honest at 75. He has enough power to keep him honest. No.
Look at that.
And plus his boxing brain, and plus Roy's boxing brain was a lot better than you're giving him credit for.
He's an athletic guy. Once you crowd his space, he can take and give it. But he's a great fighter. But once
again, you haven't answered the question. What makes you think from Beterbiev's style what in terms of his footwork makes you think that he would be able to crowd Roy?
When Roy Jones got knocked out, he never was the same. He never recovered. And people say he was past his prime. He never regained nothing. It's like a person that, grew up all privileged, and soon when they lose their job, they can't get it back. That's how.
Wait a second, guy. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Before Roy got knocked out, guess what? He had a legitimate all-time great Hall of Fame career. And before he got knocked out,
that still was part of his career. He still was. How old was he? 30?
Okay, well, wait. But you're dismissing the obvious. Okay, you're ignoring the obvious. Before Roy got knocked out, he went and he made history like 2 or 3 times. In fact, in the 2 fights prior to Roy getting knocked out, he made history in both of those fights. Okay, he made history in the Ruiz fight, and he made history in the Tarver fight. Never before in the history of the sport has a guy won a title at heavyweight and then move back down to 175 and win a title. Roy made history in the 2 fights immediately before getting knocked out. What has this guy ever done in the whole of his career outside of knock over tomato cans?
Real talk. And one thing, we're just talking about head-to-head matchup.
Dude, okay. We're talking. Look, we can talk head-to-head. My question to you is, who has this guy beaten who even can not carry Roy Jones's jockstrap, but even sniff it? Honestly, who is this guy beating?
So Tarver can knock him out, but better BF can. Come on,
dude. Tarver knocked out the shell, the ghost of Roy Jones Jr. Okay, and this is after Jones had outpointed him in the fight before. Who in the hell has better bummer BF ever beaten? Who's this guy beat? Who's he beat?
It's better than Tarver.
Better than who?
Better than Tarver, bro.
Dude, Tarver has bro. Tarver's resume urinates and defecates all over Bummer BM resume. Real talk. So I ask again, who has this guy beat? Who?
Outside Gavostic, who has Bertaviev beaten as good as Glenn Johnson?
He only got 15 fights.
Thank you. He's beaten nobody. He is beaten nobody. And you sit here holding this guy's nutsack as if he's the second coming of Sugar Ray Robinson. No, sir. This guy has done nothing in the whole of his career. Nothing.
I'm just still waiting for my question. I'm just still waiting for the answer. How is he going to crowd a Roy Jones who before let's just say up until the fight, up until he moved up to heavyweight, Roy Jones was always using angles and on the move. I'm just answering. I still need to answer that question. How is Bertaviev going to crowd him and cut him off?
By focusing on his body.
You need to get close to him to focus on the body because he's not going to land body punches at long range.
So my friend, so what you think? Roy's is going to stand in front of this guy and let him well off at his body. Is that what you think Roy's going to do? Just stand right in front of him?
Never seen him fight because he has great ring generalship. He always fights his fight. Not only that, do you see how he's not trying to be your friend. He don't shake your hand. A lot of these guys now, they shake your hand at the right. He doesn't do that.
Excuse me. Wait, stop. I didn't know that not shaking the guy's hand was the key to success in boxing. You know what? I'm going to start shaking people's hands.
No.
Okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start shaking people's hands because obviously the key to success in life, the key to success in business, the key to success in boxing is to not shake people's hands. So never again, if somebody reaches out their hand to shake, I'm gonna talk about his mama, but I'm gonna do everything but shake it. Okay, because that's obviously the key to success in life is to not shake a man's hand.
Bro, and just because you always fight your fight does not necessarily mean that you are quote unquote a great ring general.
He is a ring general. Do you see him? Y'all haven't seen him fight, bro. Y'all think it's an accident that he getting all these knockouts.
Sir, no offense, but what did EJ just tell you? I've been on this for a long time. Don't sit, no disrespect, but why are you talking to us as if we've not seen Bertaviev fight? And our analysis about him is not fair.
Well, break down. Show me what he does good and what he doesn't do good. Then let me see your boxing game. Go, bro. Because a lot of people.
Wait. I have a better question.
Because he knocked out Duran. That's what it is.
Wait, I have a better question. I have a better question. Show me who exactly his Bummer BF beaten. Show me that. Who's this guy beat?
Out 15 fights, the Bostic fight was good.
Wait, who?
Bostic was good. Bostic came off. Bostic had just came knocking out Adonis. He came out knocking off Adonis.
Dude, he beat a guy who was bleeding on the brain before he even got into the ring. What are you talking about? We
can all do that on there. You know, who did Tarver beat at light heavy? Who's his biggest win at light heavyweight? Virgil?
Oh, that's easy. Roy Jones Jr.
No, I'm talking Roy Jones. Who he beat? Virgil how low was Virgil when he beat Virgil? And Virgil ain't popping like that. Virgil ain't better than Better BS. So and then he got
Virgil Hill.
Virgil Hill's not better than Better BS.
Dude, Virgil Hill's resume puts Bummer Biev's resume to shame. What are you talking about?
And I'm not even a great Virgil Hill fan, but he's a better fighter than Better BS.
Nah, bro. I don't know how you see that.
Dude, who has Bummer Biev beaten? You talking all these cats talking about this that. He's beating nobody. Who's he beat?
Body shot, bro. Like, does he do sit-ups? Come on, bro. How you get? Listen, and let me say this about Hearns. People, and I like Hearns, and I don't want to do this, but why is it that can we all agree that intelligence trumps power and speed? Can we all agree with that? In boxing,
so are you about to
fight doctor intelligence over power and speed? Can we agree with that?
And Hearns no problem. And Hearns didn't show intelligence when he outboxed Benitez.
Pound boxing report. Shout out to you, bro. This is my first time meeting fight doctor. He always
and Hearns didn't show intelligence when he beat Benitez.
Hearns is so smart. If Hearns is so smart, and I'm trying not to cuss, if Hearns is such a super great fighter that can beat all these fighters now, why would you go into the fight with Hagler and try to knock him out and he can't handle pressure? If you can't handle Hagler pressure, you're not going to handle that pressure, bro. He's a dumb fighter.
Hearns broke his hand in the second round, dude. What are you talking about?
He didn't break his hand in the second round. He broke his hand in the first round.
I'm sorry. He broke his hand in the first. Hearns actually the favorite in that fight, if I'm not mistaken.
He's not smart, bro.
And we're talking Hagler here, who himself was an all-time great.
Wait,
bro.
We're talking Hagler. You're making an apples and oranges comparison.
First and foremost, you have to understand something. Marvin Hagler is arguably the best middleweight in history. So what are you talking about?
We're talking of a Marvin Hagler who could do it all.
Pound for pound boxing.
He could do it all. Stop. You asked me a question. Since you're talking about Hagler. He's a fighter who could do it all.
He can put pressure on you, right?
Stop. You asked me a question. I'm feeling some kind of way now. He could fight on the back foot. He could fight on the front foot. He could do angles. He could box. He could come forward. He had the chin. He could do it all. To make that comparison and throw it up against a Bertibiev who could not come close to the boxing ability that Hagler was. It's apples and oranges. Stop. It's an embarrassment. Move on.
So why would Hearns fight a big puncher that's two weight classes started above him and try to bang it out with him? That's not smart. He fell in love with
Hagler came to him.
Fell in love with his power and got knocked out. He can't handle pressure. Better Biev will crush Thomas Hearns at 175. You can't handle 160, he will crush him, bro. And
I would take Hearns at 175 against Bummer Biev.
If a Callum Johnson could hurt a Bertibiev at 75, so could Hearns. So could Hearns.
Yeah, I would pick Hearns in that fight easy.
Oh my gosh, but he can't handle Hagler pressure, but he gonna handle.
Wait. First of all,
Hagler had faster feet. He had faster feet. Hagler had faster feet and faster hands than Bertibiev. So you're going to throw that, just get it right now.
If Marvin Hagler were around today, if he were in the sport of boxing today, and if Marvin Hagler today were a 175-pound fighter, he would decimate.
There's not a middleweight alive right now
who
could be a prime marker.
It wouldn't even be a contest.
Light heavy. Why he never moved up then? Why he never moved up?
Why never moved up?
He never moved up.
Let me answer his question.
Everybody else move up. Why?
Let me answer his question, because if we're talking about money, once Spinks moved up to heavyweight, where was there a fight at against a light heavyweight of that time that could make him more money than a fight with Duran, than a fight with Leonard, than a fight with Hearns? You just throwing around simple questions without context.
So he just faded after.
Once Spinks moved up to 175 pounds, There was nothing for Hagler at light heavyweight. Nothing. Yeah, he could have won against the world title, but against whom? Against what? Against a nobody, which he couldn't make no money from?
Who?
Come on, man.
Bro,
this is business, bro. This is business.
It wasn't names around.
No, it wasn't.
He retired at 87, 88.
No, it wasn't.
There was some names around, bro. Like he could have moved up. He could have.
Okay, if there were names, if there were names at 175 for him to fight, then please tell us.
No. Answer the question. Who was the prominent light heavyweights in 80, in 85, in 86 prior to that? Because the real light heavyweight period of the 80s, in the mid 80s, that did not happen until after.
Yeah.
Who?
What's the trainer of Badu Jack and them? Did Holyfield start out light heavyweight, or he started?
No, Holyfield started out at cruiserweight, sir.
A cruiser. Okay, I thought it was light heavyweight. Okay.
You talk about Mustafa Muhammad. He was a world champion in the late 70s, early 80s, sir. Early 80s.
I gotta look at to see who was the champion was, but he could at least done it for his legacy. Why is it that everybody else had to move up a Hagler, and everybody's got these excuses for Hagler? Everybody else moved up, and he ain't have to. And he said,
"Wait, stop. First of all, stop. Hold on. Nobody needs to make excuses for Hagler because Hagler has a Hall of Fame career and will be. Look, people will be talking about Marvin Hagler 50 years from now. Nobody will be talking about Arthur Bummer-Bia 50 years from now. I can promise you that.
Hagler is proven. He's tried and true. He's proven.
Middleweight, and that's fine, and that's cool. But guess who has a better resume than Hagler? A guy from Philadelphia that spent time in jail, and he moved up and he proved himself at light heavyweight. And don't cap. And Hopkins' resume better than Hagler, easy. Any a better middleweight, and he moved up the light heavyweight. So stop making excuses for Hagler. He should have moved up, and his resume he would have been better.
Okay. Stop.
Look, dude. If you want to make the argument that Hagler should have moved up, okay, that's fine. But the simple fact of the matter is this: you cannot argue against Hagler's resume at 160. You can't do it. And what you can't do is you cannot make any comparisons between Marvin Hagler and Arthur Bummer-Bia. There are no comparisons to be made there because it's night and day.
Let's go through his
night and day.
He went the distance with a lightweight. Duran. He lost to Sugar Ray, a welterweight. Come on, bro. Is he really the best middleweight? Is he really that?
Oh my gosh.
Hopkins guy.
Hopkins with him. I can't.
Y'all be overvaluing guys just based on.
I can't anymore.
Really look at the tape, bro. He went the distance with a lightweight. If he's so good, why he ain't knock out Sugar Ray? Come on, bro.
Because talking about Sugar Ray Leonard, though.
Yo, EJ,
correct again, sir. Correct again, sir.
Jalik. Right now, I think you need to understand, Jalik. Yeah. See, when Hagler used to fight, they used to do 15 rounds. I don't think you understood, The fight with Leonard, that was the only 12-round fight in his career. So he's fighting 15 rounds. Also,
Jalik, outbox him like he was
again. Also, no, I'm trying.
Speaking as if Sugar Ray Leonard himself wasn't an ATG fighter.
I'm trying to show you.
Speaking as if Duran wasn't himself an ATG fighter.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
Also, so Hagler was doing 15 rounds fights, right? Also, when he was fighting, right, when he won the belt of Alan Mint, it was the undisputed champion, right? Undisputed, straight from the gap. There wasn't multiple belts. It was like, I think there was 2 belts at the time, or 1 belt, whatever. But he was undisputed from the jump. Undisputed from the jump. 5 years reign. 5 years reigns against great fighters. Now, we see you guys, you're talking about moving up. As we know, guys move up, guys move down. But the guys he's going against, see, the best fighter of the 70s, you know who that was? That was Roberto Duran. Tommy Hearns is one of the greatest fighters. He was the first 6-weight champion. Then you got Sugar Ray Leonard, one of the greatest of all time. So all these, they weren't just normal guys. These are like super. These are like in their own career, in their own right. They were great fighters. So when they're trying to tell you about how great Hagler is, like, you leave it alone. And let's go back to the initial argument, right? It was about Inoue. That you'll say, and this, you can do this one anyway. Bertavie is hiring anyway. We can do that one because everything else after that, it's a waste of time. Now, if you're gonna say anyway, now you can apples and orange on that one. Now, you prefer Burger Beef, then you know, like you just said, Vostik and whatever, and then you go anyway, you can do that one. But when it comes to like Roy Jones, see the Roy Jones one, right? See the Roy Jones one. I remember getting the age difference from between some of the guys there. See the Roy Jones here, right? When you talk about Burger Beef and Roy Jones, that one there, yeah. In your opinion, you see Roy Jones go through some stuff, right? But what the guys are trying to show you, yeah, is that when Roy Jones, he was undefeated, like he's first off, he's the fighter of the 90s, right? The fighter of the 90s of the decade. The whole 10 years, they gave it to Roy Jones over Evander Holyfield and over Parnell Whitaker. So he's has that on his resume. Then the best fighter, unified, undisputed, whatever, or maybe he wasn't undisputed, but unified at light heavyweight. One of the great, they got him as one of the best light heavyweights of all time. Burvey's just started. The Vostik guy he beat, right? Everyone knows it was a good win against Adonis Stevenson, but you need to put more meat on the bun. Yeah, he got a great amateur win and this, that, the other. But ideally, what they're talking about is that these American athletes, when they were on top of their game, these guys are being compared to Sugar Ray Robinson on the great. So you can see the offense, yeah. The offense is the same. It's funny as it is, as funny as it is. In your mind, one minute, G. In your mind, you could see the fight being competitive, and I can understand you can. No, I ain't gonna say a light heavyweight. I can understand that. But what I'm trying to say to you is that there's guys that Roy Jones fought, yeah, who are better than him, even at his own age. You were talking about people like the body snatcher, Mike McCallum, right? Was probably better than.
See, we're talking about light heavyweight, and what you're doing is you're looking at.
Let him finish.
Let
EJ state his case.
I'm trying to show you something. Body snatcher was a light heavyweight, right? It was a light heavyweight. He finished career light heavyweight, right? It was a light heavyweight, right? So I'm trying to say some of the guys that he fought, even at light heavyweight, see the Virgil who you're talking about, like he was arguably in the top 10 all time of light heavyweights. 10-year, he got the belt from 87, holding it to 97, right? Before I think he lost to Hearns, and obviously he lost to Darren Smith-Kocheski, he lost to Roy Jones, but bruv, he only lost like frequently in 10 years, right? You got him. So Bertaviev, what everyone's trying to say? This guy's just started his career. Nah, if you're on Bertaviev high, I can understand all them things there. But let's understand, yeah, he got knocked down on floor by Callum Johnson, who in none of these guys other leagues. That's why these guys offended. Now I understand where you are with Bertaviev's amateur and everything like that, but it's apples or I think the comparison more with in a way of you're gonna say that Bertaviv should be higher on the list than anyway. You know what? I could agree with that somewhat. I could say if you say Bertaviv, but pound for the only thing I can say is that when it comes to pound for pound, Jalik, yeah, right? It's about this. You're talking about skill set, right? Or you're talking about the most skillful fighter in the sport. So let me go into that. The most skillful fighter in the sport, right? Making other guys at the same level look like they don't deserve to be in the ring with him. And that's why I always say Terence Crawford, because every time he gets in the ring with these guys who are supposed to be competitive, bro, they end up looking like they don't deserve to be in the ring with him. Now, Bertaviev doesn't do that because, again, he got knocked down by Callum Johnson. Yeah, he got up to knock, great fight, but not in the pound-for-pound caliber. In a way, it does definitely deserve to be in the top 10. Why? Because he's blowing out guys that really and truly are durable, credible, and respectable. It's just that he needs more names on his thing. But Bertaviev, in terms of pound-for-pound, the most skillful fighter in the sport, it's hard to make that argument when he's in knockdown dragouts with guys. Now, the thing is, if he went against Sergio Kovalev and he went in there and just blew Sergio Kovalev out of the water, that fight never happened, by the way, and also Adonis Stevenson himself, it would have been, bro. You know what? Pound for pound, bro, he would have got it. But the Vostik one, because of that, Vostik wasn't proven, he got him. Yeah, he's the king of the light heavyweights. When really and true, there's no other great fighters there in there apart from himself. Again, Bivol, they're not, you know, they're about the same level and stuff. So that's where it is at the minute. But the old time greats, right? And this is what happens in sports. People bring up the old timers to disrespect the old timers. Only in our sport we do that. In baseball, in basketball, you know, they mention that, but they don't really do that. But I don't know why the people have to disrespect the old timers to make your point. But I think if you want to stay in a way, pound for pound against Bertaviev, you can do that. Go ahead, Jalik.
Saying is we can break the resume down. What I'm saying is Roy is a great fighter. I've been watching Roy. It's great, but if we're talking about 175, so what they're doing, they're bringing up 168 and 160, so which is great because Roy got a great resume. He's a great fighter, but you can't just take away from the fact that when the going got rough, his chin ain't hold up, and then he never recovered after that. That's part of who he is. Now, if he would have got his chin caught earlier, then it would have been show. But he was able to hide it through his athleticism, and people was probably been in all of them. But do you guys think Richard Frazier is better than Bertaviev?
I think James Toney in his prime is better than Beterbiev.
5, bro. We're looking at Roy Jones at 175. Richard Frazier, David Telesco, Richard Hall better than Beterbiev. Otis Grant, Lou DeVal better than Beterbiev. No.
Antonio Tarver is better than Beterbiev at 175.
All right, bro.
So is Glenn Johnson at 175.
And so is Glenn Johnson. This is true.
Y'all crazy, bro. We're gonna hit it right there, bro. So Glenn Johnson is
dude, exactly who has Beterbiev beaten? Who has he beaten? What has he done?
All right, bro.
Seriously.
I'm just guessing he just looks at Glenn Johnson's record and says that he sees that he has a bunch of losses and just want to dismiss him, where context, if you look at who he was as a fighter, when you look at the number of times Glenn Johnson got robbed, and if you watched him and you know his history, you know he got robbed a whole bunch of times. Glenn Johnson was a damn good fighter. He was.
Glenn Johnson, guess who stopped him? The dude that's better than Hagler, the guy that y'all overrate.
Let me ask a question. Who wins? Who wins? Bernard Hopkins better beef. Who wins that fight? I like heavy.
Better beef. Oh, yeah. Better beef beat him. Better beef, but definitely
he beat Bernard Hopkins.
Bernard Hopkins would beat Hagler. He'll beat Hagler, and his resume better than Hagler. Easy work. Yeah.
Dude, who has? But you failed to answer the question. Who has Beterbiev beaten?
Still developing, and I'm basing it on.
But then you, all right, so you refuse to answer the question. Who has Beterbiev beaten? Who has he beat?
Fights, bro.
Who has he beat? But who has he beat? Who has he beat?
15 fights.
So basically, what you're saying is he's done nothing in his career, right?
I don't. This argument is not making any sense, EJ.
It's not an argument.
He's talking. Let me finish. You're talking about a guy who you admit is still developing. He has only a certain number of fights. He still has work to do. But then you're going to automatically place him above this fighter here, this fighter there, from the past, from the present, and what? That makes no sense.
Let's break it down.
Wait, how old is Beterbiev? He's in his 30s, isn't he?
He's in his mid-30s.
So Antonio Tarver and Glenn Johnson is better than Beterbiev.
That's what I'm saying. See,
he's 35 years old,
Glenn
man.
Kelly, come on, bro. Glenn Kelly.
That's what I'm saying. They find these guys, and then they prop them up. They have these long amateur careers. Look, the reason why they have these long amateur careers is because they can't cut it as a professional. That's why Lomachenko hides all these years in the amateurs, and when the first time he gets stiff competition from a real fighter in Orlando Salido, what happens? He loses. Then what they do? They put him back on a diet of tomato cans. They put him back on a steady diet of tomato cans until they can't anymore. They put him in front of a real fighter. What happens?
You're talking about a fighter who you're talking about is still developing, but yet you want to place him over all these other established light heavyweights in the past with legit resumes. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Hey, pound for pound boxing. What's your thoughts on Clinton Woods and Glenn Kelly as fighters?
They're okay. Glenn Kelly's not nothing. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying, though. We're talking about what y'all doing in y'all argument.
No. You
mentioned them guys. Hold up, Julie. You mentioned them guys. Are they? Is Callum Johnson better than them? Who's a British and Commonwealth champion? The guys you mentioned are world contenders. Is Callum Johnson better than them?
Forget Callum Johnson.
No.
Look at the guy who Beterbiev beat for the title.
No. You know why you don't mention Callum Johnson?
He was
Callum Johnson not down Beterbiev. What I'm trying to say, I'm trying to have a point with him. Callum Johnson, British and Commonwealth champion, but
he better than Clinton Woods, Glenn Kelly, and Gonzalez.
Callum Johnson's better than Clinton Woods. Is that what you just said there?
Clinton Woods is better than the guy Beterbiev beat for the title.
Come on, man.
Clinton Woods, EJ, is better than the guy Enrique Colling, the guy who Beterbiev beat to originally become a world champion.
Y'all guys work out.
What are you talking about?
Do y'all guys work out?
Julie.
No, answer my question. Do y'all work out? Yes or no?
Yeah, I work out. Yeah,
right? In order for you to develop your muscles, don't you need resistance? Because you can't lift weights without resistance. Develop muscle.
Well, Beterbiev is not getting any resistance. Okay,
that's having resistance.
He's not getting no resistance.
Yeah.
He's getting no
Clinton Woods
resistance.
Clinton Woods again. He's better than the guy Bertie BF beat to initially become a world champion.
I know it. But Jalik, you know what? We I tell you what, we ain't gonna get on this. I tell you what, we're gonna wrap this up, boy. And you know what? This should be good for a later show. Definitely got. But Jalik, you put your case for your guy, and you know the thing about Jalik, like most guys who back these fighters, you know, you're gonna have to come back and defend yourself at some later point. Jalik, tell people where they can meet, where they can find you, and the social media. Thanks for coming over. Jalik.
I'm Jalik the Leader on all social media, man. I appreciate you from having me on there. Everybody in the chat, in the panel, on the playback, and shout out to Fight Doctor. Shout out to my man, Hagler. He loves Hagler. He's a good guy to talk boxing. First time meeting him, and hopefully we can talk some more boxing in the future. But bro, the next time you bring it, bro, you're gonna have to do a little bit more research, bro. But nice meeting you.
That's Jalik the Leader. Hey, shout out to Jalik the Leader. Hey man, at some point, Jalik, I might have to give you a link to jump on Mike's show. Mike has a great show over there on the Pound Boxer Report.
Oh, you do? I support him. I think he's a cool guy, bro.
Yeah, of course. You know how it is. Go ahead, Mike. Tell people where they can find you. And thanks for coming over, Mike. Go ahead.
Pound for Pound Boxer Report, a weekly podcast, weekly show you can find on YouTube. The podcast you can find anywhere where podcasts distributed, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatnot. And you can also check out my writing hustle over at 3kingsboxing.com, where I am a senior writer for 3 Kings Boxing. So that's what the two places you can find me right there.
Word, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, all right. Fight Doctor, go ahead, Fight Doctor. Tell people where they can find you and where you that trouble, man. Go ahead.
Oh, Dave, just shout out to EJ. Shout out to Pound for Pound Boxing. Shout out to Jalik. I'm the cat you guys can find in the alley.
You know, hey, that's a good one. I'm the cat you can find in the alley. If you want that trouble, the Fight Doctor's your man. He's always ready to operate. And you know what? There was a great show today. I haven't done a hater report for a long while, but Jalik, you made the list. Thank you. I must admit, bro, that was quality backwards and forwards. And you know what? As a section, no, hey, listen,
crazy,
like,
man.
Hey, the hate report is nothing but advertisement for yourself and for people listening who want to enjoy a good old backwards and forwards. But listen, this is gonna be great for everyone coming over. Hey, great wishes to Canelo Alvarez and for the sport of boxing.
Yeah,
we hopefully that Canelo Alvarez goes on to have some great fights. Hopefully for us, go Showtime, and we get some of the great fights, and maybe the Oscar De La Hoya fight, man. I'm EJ Boxing Live. Shout out to the guys in the panel in the chat. It's been a great show, and we catch you in the next one. Peace.